I think the old magic pen.
Getting anxious. Stop it.
Well, hello. I didn't see you there.
Wow.
Yes, you did.
Wow.
Welcome to the Reliables.
Why are you sitting on the floor of this diner?
Oh, I thought it was a school bus for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Can I introduce the show? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess we'll allow it this week.
I suppose.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Reliables on the Zombie Orpheus Entertainment Channel here on Twitch. This show just happens to be the most interactive live stream RPG show in the universe, in the metaverse, in the multiverse,
Heck yeah.
in everything. Yeah. Just period. The most interactive live stream RPG. I don't need to define it any further than that, I think. And it exists because of you.
Because of me?
You right there.
Oh.
Oh,
Yep.
that looks like it's
Yes.
me.
It
You.
looks like it's pointing at
Specifically, it's
me.
Precisely. You. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
you
pointing
right
at
there.
me.
Yep. You. It exists because you. Viewers like you support us. Zoe supporters keep this show
This is
going.
PBS?
Essentially.
Viewers like you.
Yes. And
This program made possible.
there's other ways that you can contribute to keep this show going. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but why don't I tell you about people sitting at the table? I mean, you all know me. I'm James Durham. I'm the guy that talks at you, and you probably wonder why I'm the one that ended up with this job. I often do myself. But hey, here I am, and I'm doing it. So why don't I introduce the people that really matter? Let's start with Bryce Bebop. Hi, Bryce.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? I'm Bryce Bebop, and I'm playing Vector Reigns. Are we going to talk about our avatars as well, or just?
Not yet.
Okay, we don't have avatars. Don't listen to what I said. So I'm playing Vector Reigns.
Tell me about Vector Reigns. Vector Reigns?
Oh, the things I could tell you about Vector Reigns could fill a book. In fact, I have 3 about myself. But
If we can't read, what would be in those books?
I'm so sorry with your poor education.
She's a mushroom, dude.
I know. Well, I guess.
I osmose most of my information through the mycelial network, so
So I should just put it in your roots.
yes.
Okay. So Vector Reigns, pretty much in charge of the
That
ship.
sounds inappropriate.
Everyone loves him. Pretty much everyone's favorite guy.
Yep.
Yeah, like I
For
don't
sure.
like. What else do you need to know? The fact that he's an amazing shot. The fact that he's wanted on 7 different planets for.
Probably
Indecent.
sexual reasons.
For sexy.
We were gonna say indecent exposure, but same difference, really.
That's
When
what it
you
looks
get
like
down
to me.
it. Whoa, I am completely decent, sir. Yeah, pretty much amazing.
And now you're wanted on one more planet.
Uh-huh.
I'm wanted on every
Planet
planet I
Earth.
go to.
No arguments here. No arguments
Vector
here.
Reigns.
Wearing very cool high-tech jacket that blends in with the background.
My space jacket,
Space jacket.
literally.
Who's the next? I'm done with Vector Rays.
Yeah, just,
Okay.
You gotta cut me off.
I'm like, I'm gonna see nipple at any moment. I just.
Well, there's no nipples here, sir.
Wait, you know who else is on the show today? Helen Roundhill is on the show today, everybody.
Hello. So I'm playing everybody else's favorite. Not that, of course, there is anyone left after Victor Reigns charmed you all. Hi, I'm playing Princess Hedgehog. See, I brought a tiara this week. You're welcome, chat. Unless I'm supposed to say thank you, chat. I'm not sure. Princess Hedgehog is, in fact, a princess. And also a mushroom, a hedgehog mushroom.
Basically, if she didn't have magic power, she'd be waiting around all day for a plumber to save her.
Look, I've seen that film. It ends in a really interesting way. Unless you're talking about the video game, in which case, James has his head in his hands, so I'm guessing that that was not the introduction that he wanted. It's
Thanks,
possible. Anytime. You're such a beautiful shade of red.
And you know who else we have? You haven't seen him in a while, and I know you've all been waiting for him to come back. We all have been waiting for him to come back. We've got Sean Franklin here with us.
What?
That's right.
The man, the myth.
He ain't heavy. He's my captor.
Sean Franklin plays John Stone. That's right. Cyborg, former SWAT officer, current and always badass. I'm in charge of these people whenever I'm around. Sometimes I get the feeling that when I'm not around, they do whatever the heck they want. Probably because of the influence of Vector Reigns.
That's crazy.
Just a hunch I have.
Slander.
Other than that, I am the man in charge, team captain. That's about it. I'm going to keep mine short because I'm tired of these people yakking. We got stuff to do. Let's get on with the show.
Thank you, Sean. And
Well.
of course, you've already heard him. I've seen somebody point out in chat that you've heard his voice several times already. There's Christian Doyle with us here today as well. Christian
Honestly,
Doyle.
was it ever going to be anybody else? It was always going to be me. Hi guys, I'm Christian Doyle.
Well, nobody else was
It
available.
had to be
Exactly.
you.
I live
It
I
literally
live
had
a
to
short
be
enough
you.
distance from James that he can always count on me to be here, even if I'm not scheduled. So yeah, my name is Christian Doyle. I play the character of Jonomox, interdimensional thief, assassin, edgelord, reformed, and now a willing member of the crew with a little less edge. I like
You
him.
can take the Lord to the edge, but you can't take the edge out of the Lord.
That's how Christianity stays in business, Helen.
I'm not going to.
Jonomox! Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Jonomox!
He has knives. He's bad at shape changing. Jonomox!
Thank you, everybody.
Wow.
Well, now you've met my cast. Why don't we tell you about the wonderful way that you can keep this show going on the air and make it so we don't all have to go out and, work too many hours in real jobs and can entertain you with our ridiculousness and bad jokes, dad jokes, and other forms
And
of
sad jokes.
Bad jokes, dad jokes, and rad jokes.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's better than sad jokes.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Oh, it was? Oh, damn. I
Oh,
forgot to laugh.
Okay, yeah.
To be honest, this whole thing is a joke.
Oh, James.
Oh,
Don't talk about
Marty.
yourself like that.
Well,
You meant the show.
why don't you talk
We wouldn't
about
have to do this without you. Wait.
Wait.
That's it.
All right. I'd be happy to talk about the store if that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I would kind of like you to say about the store how they can, support this show and keep us around.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm here to talk to you about the store. This is how this show becomes the most interactive RPG out there. Is you can actually go to the store. I think the link is in the chat right now, and you can buy from us ways to change the story. So let's talk about what those are. Let's start up at the top. We have hashtag shout out. That means that when you hashtag shout with your purchase, you can make the computer talk at us, which is always fun. We love that. You can shout out ideas. You can shout out insults. You can shout out that you can't actually hear what we're saying because the mics have gone bad. Who knows? Let's see. Let's go to a Benny saved as a Benny earned. Hashtag Benny. We use Bennies for all kinds of things. To redraw our initiative cards, to re-roll the die, to subvert whatever it is that James is doing right now. Bennies save our butts in all kinds of ways.
They're also the only way we can soak damage.
They are the only way that we can soak damage. This is also true. They are also the only way that I can renew my PowerPoints every episode. So I like them. All right, let's go on to Jam the Works. Jam the Works is like buying a Benny, but for the evil empire, because it goes to James. And generally speaking, when James has something that benefits James, James uses it for evil. You all know this already, so don't do it, please. All right, personality reorder. A personality reorder, you can decide where on the sliders, and somebody's going to talk about sliders here a little bit later. Yes. But the personality reorder changes whether we are more pilot or more avatar. So currently we are all our pilot characters. You'll meet our avatar characters later. Personality reorder changes all of that. Win, lose, or draw, hashtag draw. That allows us to redraw our initiative and choose the better of the two. Or force James to redraw initiative.
I don't like that.
We like it.
We love
It's
it.
so good.
He's all like, I'm going to wreck your ass. And we're like, haha, you'll have to catch us first. That's how that works. Let's see, System Shock. System Shock's a little like a personality reorder, except it happens to everyone all at once, and it's completely random, as determined by a roll of the die. James always chooses to do them at inconvenient times. Dance, magic, dance. Dance, magic, dance. We get to be your meat puppets. Leo will play us some music. We will dance around. You know, if it's starting to get a little too heavy, meat puppet time. Let's see. That takes us to hashtag memory or story time. If you really want to know about our deep, dark, secret past, you can pick up a memory and we will tell you about either our pilot characters or our avatar characters, and we'll have to make it up on the spot because I'm going to tell you what, I don't plan these. All right, let's see. Fourth wall break. Fourth wall break is a little, it's like a memory, except like a memory of what's happening right now. So we step out of the action and into our own little booth where we tell you exactly what we're thinking in that moment, where we all went, did Jonah Mox fail that shapeshift again? My God, let me tell you about last week when he did that.
Not today.
And how we accidentally ate him in a piece of cake. All right. Yep, we were high for, well, a week. All right. Edgelord, getting an education. I'm just going to skip that one for the sake of time and also because just don't buy it. It benefits James. All right, Chaos, Meta Meltdown. This is where we all have to trade hats, trade accents, and hope for the best, and trade our character sheets. So I believe it's a roll of the die where that decides who gets to be in whose personality. All right, Rule of Cool. Rule of Cool is, of course, Christian and my favorite thing to fight over, and yet somehow we never win.
I don't know.
You won last week, though, so.
First time in in the Reliables history, I think.
Oh my God, really? Okay. So
I've
rule.
never won.
Well, James.
Never.
Well, stop sucking, James.
There it is. All right. So Rule of Cool. We'll go around. We'll draw initiative. And then based on that initiative, we'll tell you. Physics be damned, rolls of the dice be damned. What is the coolest thing that we can think of to do in this situation? And you at home get to decide who wins. We'll take a vote, and whoever...
Stop poking the audience. What's wrong with you?
They like it. Whoever wins based on your vote gets to make their thing happen penalty-free. Everybody else has to roll to make their things happen. You know, which could end in disaster, as it often does. All right, that brings us to the last thing. Hack attack.
Hack attack.
I was like looking on it. It's not there. Hack attack. Hack attack is like a rule of cool, but just for you, buddies. You get to step in and change our whole damn world, and we get to thank you for it.
We literally are obligated to thank them for it.
I know. So there we go. That is the shop today. Was anybody timing that? Did I do okay?
That was great.
Thank you.
And that's all the time we have for the Reliables today.
Yes.
But actually, you know, as things you were speaking up over there, Chris, why don't you
What? And so it begins.
Hashtag Benny for our team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
King.
So we play a game called Savage Worlds
Mhm.
for this show. You want to tell them a little bit about it, Christian?
Yeah. That's me today. Great. We play a game called Savage Worlds here on the show. The
Great.
Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. Yes, of course. It's one of the greatest role-playing games out there, and here's why. You can play in any kind of genre, any game that you've ever thought of playing. There is a way to play it using just this book. So it is excellent. It works on a advanced dice system in that, like many role-playing games. But your traits and your skills are all based on die type. So the bigger the die, the better chance you have statistically. We're really shooting for like a 4 to succeed in anything. But the more we beat that by, the better our results turn out. We use cards for initiative. Highest card goes first. If you draw a joker, everybody gets a Benny, and you get to go wherever you want during the initiative order. I think I've covered all of the mechanical stuff that we will see.
I will say, speaking as somebody who has not been gaming their entire life, this was actually pretty quick and easy to pick up and enjoyable to play. Yeah, so, you don't feel like you're drowning when you're handed a character sheet.
Yeah, there's enough rules for it to be nice and crunchy if you want to do tactical combat, but it leaves a lot of room for narrative storytelling. It's a great overall system. It may not be the best at any one thing, but it does everything very well.
Just like you, Chris.
Savage Worlds Adventure Edition!
Buy your copy today. All right. Thank you, Christian. Now, there's one more thing we got to talk about before we get started, and that's pilots and avatars, something that's, big on this show. And Bryce, you want to tell us what pilots and avatars are and how that works?
Sure, I can do that. So,
He said with confidence and
if you fake it,
panache.
they'll trust it. So how this works is that we all have a character known as our pilot. So that's one of the characters we're playing. We also have the ability to slip into a metapod, which puts our consciousness inside the body of another character.
So once again, we bring up meat puppets.
I'm not saying meat puppets, because that would be one of the things I'm not allowed to say on one planet.
Oh, wow.
So,
It's a move that he invented.
let me
It's
tell
in the
you,
Space Kama Sutra.
it is illegal on a lot of planets. Anytime I go to
The
them.
Jim Henson planet, though, completely
all
acceptable.
about it. All about it. So, the way this works is...
Look for the stinky one. That's your guy.
Wow.
Well, if you're on the Muppet Planet, the meat,
that makes
the meat,
sense.
the
Yeah,
meat puppet's
yeah.
going to be the only one with a bad smell.
That's
Yeah, no,
true.
that-
That's
that-
true.
Yeah.
So, we'll be either in our full pilot, where our pilot's in control, we'll be full avatar, where our avatar is in control, or we'll be in the center, where they're both kind of in the same...
They're struggling for
Yeah,
dominance.
they're struggling.
Does that come with a penalty?
It, in fact, does come with the
Oh,
penalty
wow.
of
does it-
-1 to every roll.
Does it have an advantage, though, to be in the middle?
The advantage of being in the middle, though, is that you get to use both character sheets, whatever stats better on either side,
So,
with the exception of your strength and vigor, because you're in one body. You can't just be
so
strong.
for instance, if you are an exceptionally strong spellcaster, but you're a little bit dim, if you were, say, to inhabit the body of somebody who, for example, had some like hacking, electronics, and some science skills, maybe it would be great to sit in the middle.
You know, I'm feeling like this isn't just a hypothetical anymore.
It might not be a hypothetical.
So
I'm glad we had this talk. Let's just do this.
All right. So, previously on The Reliables, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching, our heroes have been going through some ups and downs. They've been chasing after an individual who's been hopping from metaverse to metaverse, killing off individuals and entire populations, allegedly in some intent of changing the future. Now, over their adventures, they've been able to find that there's a lot of evidence supporting what this individual has said, and it seems more and more. In fact, Paul was believing it was almost certain that it's true that this individual is trying to change a terrible future that awaits. And the reason for that was revealed in one of our episodes. Now, a lot of this information has been kept from John Stone because John Stone has a connection to the Council, which decides basically the fate of all metaverses everywhere. And as they learned, the Council is directly responsible for this terrible future that's going to befall. So they've been wanting to keep things from old John so that it doesn't get back to the Council.
Uh-oh.
And then things took a really bad turn in last week's episode when Rhodes showed up to collect everyone for violating metaversal laws, only to find that the prison meta-end simply doesn't exist anymore. And it was just a Joe's Diner there at the edge of the metaverse. And upon arriving there, Rhodes no longer had any of his powers as a metaversal cop.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is this what they mean when they say defund the police?
I think it's significantly worse.
Oh.
Yeah. Because that money was, not put into any other programs. It was just kind of, they're gone, and they've always been gone now.
Uh-oh.
Because it was undone in time. So it's not defunding, it's there never were any.
Good Lord.
And we call that anarchy, yes. Now, when they arrived there, they had caught this adversary, at least in the body that he was currently in. But during the confusion, he slipped out of the doors of Joe's Diner. And as any of our longtime fans know from Masters of the Metaverse, when you walk out of a Joe's Diner, it takes you to wherever the metaverse thinks you need to go. So poof, he was gone to wherever the metaverse thinks he needs to be. Which leaves us to where we are at the moment, awaiting in a Joe's Diner some members of the team when the Reliance is able to show up and collect them as they mysteriously all vanished from their metapods that they were in before. Not
That
a
is
good
pretty
sign.
mysterious.
Yeah, you don't go from being in your metapod to suddenly being in a Joe's Diner unless some serious forces kick in. But the great thing about Joe's Diner is you can walk into a Joe's Diner anywhere, and you're in Joe's Diner. Everywhere.
Is that the same menu?
Same menu,
All
same
right.
cook. Hollywood is behind the counter as always.
Where everybody knows your
Yeah,
name.
and Joe's Diner is very, very full of individuals from across the metaverse. And there's all kinds of gossip and talk as things have gotten crazy everywhere. Metaverses are disappearing. People's pasts are changing. A lot of strange events going on. And that brings us aboard the Reliance itself, where we have a very suspicious and curious John Stone waiting for a debrief from a couple of his Reliables crew.
All right. So, who's going to let me know what's been going on? All right. You guys have been doing a lot of missions, pulling stuff off. Nothing has been come, to my attention as being cataclysmically bad. So, good job, Vector.
Which is fascinating.
We've been
because you
getting
would
really good.
think that, like, cataclysmically bad, one would think that, the folks on high would be warning you about that. Right? Not
Well,
just the foot soldiers. Nobody believes the foot soldiers anyway. You go in and you're like, oh, we're understaffed. Oh, we don't have proper leadership. Oh, we don't have the resources that we need. Nobody listens. So why would they listen when you say that things have gone catastrophically bad? Not that I know about working. I've never done it.
And nothing has gone catastrophically bad. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
It
So-
hasn't gone catastrophically bad. It's going catastrophically bad. Hypothetically.
Yes, John?
So, you're just going to let that lie? Like, there's no explanation needed? Is
If
that-
only I could give you an explanation, but as it happens, I don't understand. So,
About 10 minutes ago, the universe rewrote itself.
Elaborate.
Okay, so, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but there used to be a prison. And it was called Meta End.
Right.
And that's where they would send metaversal criminals, interdimensional thieves. Well, I can tell you that I have been at that place many, many times.
Yes, you have.
And I've spent a lot of time there.
Oh, yes, you have.
And now it never existed.
Do you remember being there?
I mean, I know that I was there. I can,
The memory is slowly fading.
but yeah, no, it's like trying to remember a dream. It's messed up.
Weird.
So,
The good news is I no longer have a criminal record.
Hey!
Oh, so you're not a
Lies.
criminal anymore.
That's not a good thing.
Right.
People are it's
That's
like
the easiest rehab anyone's ever done, though.
it's like lighting a fuse from both ends. Like eventually you're gonna run out of fuse, right?
well, you've already been released from being on probation,
I was never on probation.
technically. Yeah. Well. So then, what is actually the problem that we're talking about here? You folks are kind of hiding something.
Oh yeah, no. Universe is burning from two ends. Like, this guy,
It's like a Merlin Benjamin Button situation where,
right. So he's going backwards in time
yeah.
compared to us or something, very river songy, and killing entire swaths of people. Huge populations, this and that. But it's all to
Stepping on butterflies
It's
who
all
then affect the rest of the world.
yeah.
Yeah. Only this case, it's bigger than one world.
But
It
he's
is
trying to
all
keep
worlds.
he's trying to keep this future from happening. That is bad for him.
And so this is coming about because of something you did?
Whoa!
No!
No. It's just that.
No.
So
Probably not.
what eventually is going to happen is the Galvanic Collective. You don't like them. This guy hates them way more than we do.
Yeah.
He hates them so much, in fact, that he's trying to erase them from existence in the past or the future or something.
Which sounds like a great idea.
Anyway, they really did him dirty
On the surface.
once.
on the surface, but like we all remember when we went and killed Hitler. Well,
Right.
when I say we,
that was me.
it was you.
I did.
and
Right.
and a lot of other bad things happened because of that. So it's a little like Hitler
Yeah. Hitler and butterflies.
and butterflies, but on a universal scale.
And
Yeah.
it's all because of what
or
so
a
you did?
metaversal scale. No, we
No, we
didn't
had
do
nothing to do with it.
anything.
We've literally been stopping him the
Yeah.
whole time, which is apparently making things worse.
How could it possibly make it worse if we're stopping him?
Exactly.
And yet somehow it is?
Because
Yeah.
he wasn't lying.
I don't understand time things, so
So where is he now?
Oh, he just walked out the door.
All right, where to? Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, where?
All right.
Hey, look, 10 minutes ago, my body was in a metapod, and now it's in a diner. This is
I do believe I
Catastrophic
have found him.
paradox.
Paul's voice comes from the hallway. I do believe I have located the individual in question.
great.
Where
Have
is he?
Pierce sent a course, I guess?
It will be faster with metapods.
It always is.
But we just got back, and the cake hasn't even settled yet. And I got a banana milkshake on top of that when we were at
Princess,
Doyle.
stay on task.
I didn't even get cake.
I'm just saying, like, if I yarf in the metapod, I'm not cleaning it up.
Well, that's going to be in your pod. Don't worry
Yeah, that's
about
on you.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah.
You could.
Gross.
And
Yeah,
yes, chat, that would be correct.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, I left that part out quite intentionally.
Which part? Do I even know what this is?
About his.
No, I don't know about that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what his motivations are, just that he's doing
Oh,
it.
he's trying to save his lover.
Okay, now isn't that just a tiny little bit, just a tiny little bit selfish? Like
It's 100% huge bit selfish. Yes.
Oh.
Let's find him. He's not going to tear down the fabric of reality just so he can find his girl. Or guy, or
Are you
it,
sure?
or them, or they, or whatever it is. We've got to stop him.
I mean,
Okay,
I'm
but when
about
that good is good.
he's going to tear down the universe to get his lover. Like that's happening or happened.
And every
Or-
time that we try and stop him,
I'm
we're
not
really just
sure.
helping him along.
Yeah.
But how does he, like, how can he be absolutely certain that he's not going to wipe out his lover as well?
Hollywood, can I get a BLT?
Yep.
No.
On it.
No, Hollywood.
Yes, Hollywood.
No,
Yes,
our mission's
No,
not over.
saving the world requires calories.
And debriefings require some talk time, and we can do that over dinner. These guys have been basically just eating me for the
There's
last.
someone else you recognize in the diner, John, but it seems out of place. There's, Rhodes, Zenda, sitting right there, but he's not wearing the hat. It's sitting on the chair next to him. No food in front of him. Head in his hands.
He's probably gonna need a hospital pretty soon.
He looks
Oh,
real
yeah.
sad.
That's right, because being Rhodes is keeping you alive.
Well, it was, not anymore.
Keeping Rhodes was keeping you alive.
Is that the end of his roads?
Phew.
Oh, sorry. No? Too
No,
soon?
it's good. No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
really good. He just looks really sad, and
So-
Hollywood won't even give him water.
What's your issue?
Look around you. No meta end, no roads, everything's coming apart. Apparently, because you're stopping someone and the person they're trying to stop is doing all this, so
I'm with you.
I guess no right answer there, maybe? I mean, on the one hand, this guy's killing people. The other hand, him killing people is stopping his people from erasing time. Where's the right answer there?
I don't know if there is one.
I don't see it.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes, so
All right.
What does that mean?
Wait. Have you
I don't know. It was a sage-old saying. I just thought it.
Go
applied.
on.
have y'all spoken to him?
To who?
Well, you know how these end of the world type love expositions.
Oh, yeah, a couple times, yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Has-
no, we've run
Yeah.
into him. We've met him full
Right.
on
Yeah.
a couple of times.
He was just here.
And what does he say? What does he talk about that he's trying to do, that he wants to do?
Save lover, stop end of world.
Stop the
Yeah.
Galvanic Collective from ever happening.
Yeah.
Look, when these big idea, end of the world type of dudes start getting on their rants, they often drop hints about what it is that they're trying to do and how we can actually try to stop him, or if we should stop him. So what have you gleaned from these conversations you've had with him?
There's been a lot of
You know what?
pressure every time.
Yeah, it's been
like
a
almost life or
death.
death at the moment, so it's kind of hard
And we're
to see
always
the
in
forest.
avatars, so we basically are crippled. I mean, there's nothing we can do to take him in.
Mhm.
We got lucky this time and actually managed to catch him because Rhodes was there, and only because he was going to arrest us too for some unknown reason.
Changing the timeline.
We change timelines all the time. It's
You
literally
can't
our job,
exist.
Rhodes.
You cannot exist in any space without somehow affecting the timeline.
What do you know about this guy?
Very little from what I picked up from them. I've been looking for whoever's causing these disturbances, but they're not a meta pilot, so I can't just find them. And well, now I can't do anything, but I couldn't just find them like I could anyone else.
So they have no signature.
No, I believe it is, as Joan Omak said, they're traveling backwards through time, occupying bodies.
You know
I
who else
believe
we-
the theory is there's energy and matter can't be created or destroyed, so we simply
Right.
backtrailing into the various pieces that will eventually constitute himself. And the further back one goes, that's more.
The more waves one creates.
And apparently to stop this galvanic collective from existing, and that's supposed to save someone, and if he doesn't stop the galvanic collective, they're going back to erase everything, and everything will be the galvanic collective. So again, I don't see a right answer.
If this happened to Zenda, current Rhodes, then what happened to Jonathan? Would Milkshake be exempt from the effect? Would it be a Thanos snap, or would they never have been together? Hashtag hack attack frown poor Milkshake.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
That's a sad story for
You
another
pull
day.
on one
Yeah.
root and you take down the whole forest.
It would seem so. And again, no right answer here. There perhaps is an alternative, but I'm not seeing what that is.
We don't know what it is either. We have no clue. We are the least equipped group of people to handle this kind of thing, and we're the ones doing it. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. You would
In my
think the
experience in the
council would be on
metaverse,
top of
that
this.
seems to be the way it goes.
Right. So only thing that does make sense is to do what we are here to do. and that's to track this guy down. Once we find him, we'll figure it out. We always
Once
do.
we find him, what do we do?
We'll figure
We
it out.
can't kill him.
We always
We
do.
Send
can't,
him to.
we can't really.
Oh.
We can't fight him. We can't put him away.
But we can't do anything here.
The literal only thing that we can do when we find him is speak to him
Okay.
again.
All right then.
And be like, hey, buddy, I know that your heart is breaking.
And I want to know what question you're going to ask him
that one.
that is going to be different from
Yeah.
the questions that we asked him.
This being that he loves, who is it?
Uh-huh.
We don't know.
He's- has
Well,
it told-
it's the Galvanic Collective.
Oh yeah, that's why it's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
wait.
you
He's
said
in
you
love
hated
with the
the
Galvanic Collective?
He's in love with the thing that became the Galvanic Collective.
But you said he hates the Galvanic Collective more than we do.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate
I'm
relationship.
kinda
sorry.
makes sense, actually.
Is this a like?
I've also explained that this
nice
guy's committed
guys-
genocide multiple times, right? I
Yeah.
mean, he's clearly
He's
not
not on
stable.
a level playing field
So,
here.
does he wear a fedora? Like, is this a nice guys finish last kind of situation? I hate the thing I love because it doesn't love me back.
I thought it was he loves them, and then they turn to the Galvanic Collective, so he wants to go back and stop the Galvanic Collective
From ever happening,
because then it becomes the person that he loves.
Although the way he operates, going backwards in time, he's doing pretty similar thing to what the Galvanic Collective does already.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a self-love situation. He doesn't realize that he's just in love with himself, and he
What
is the
if-
Galvanic Collective, and he's
Yeah.
just doing the thing that the Galvanic Collective was doing all along. And there we go. I've solved it.
Congratulations.
All right,
And
now
World saved. Oh, wait, no,
So
everything's
now stop
exactly
it.
the same.
I don't know how.
we gotta tell him to start loving
That's where
himself.
I'm-
That's what I've got.
And I can't even get a milkshake.
Well,
I mean, sure.
Hollywood won't serve me.
look,
That's
Hollywood,
Ronald
can I have
Gabriel
a
Zenda,
milkshake?
not Rhodes. You have to serve him now.
Don't care, not serving him.
Can I have a milkshake?
Coming right up.
I am just going to give it to Rhodes.
Can't have it.
All right.
can we get him to go, please? We need to find this guy. All right. The first step is
Okay.
to
I
find
mean,
him.
okay, we'll
Now, if
find
Paul
him.
is tracked-
We find him every time, and then he gets away.
Hey, Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, how concerned are you about disappearing soon?
Very.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Good-looking guy.
It's true.
It's been a couple of days since I got a memo from management. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
They usually email me 6 times a day.
Wow.
6?
Sometimes 10.
Micromanaging much, right?
Wow.
Yep, that's how they do it.
Out of curiosity, how are the supply chains holding up?
Not well.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna get a banana milkshake to go.
Hollywood, since you are basically at a hub here where people drop in and you
Mhm.
pick up bits of information, you hear things, overhear things. Does any of this sound like something that you know about, heard of before?
Not. No, there's nothing I've got for you on that. I can tell you that a lot of the places where we should have a Joe's Diner are now just energy. Gold energy, and there's no Joe's Diner there anymore. It's gone. And it seems to be spreading at an exponential rate.
How powerful is this guy?
Did Paul ever figure out?
Real powerful.
Did Paul ever figure out a way to track down those guys?
He had some ways.
He did have some ways.
When they were active within a metaverse, he could find them.
Yeah. Let's have him check where we're going.
There does not seem to be any signs of galvanic collective activity.
What about that? What about a similar energy signature? Something that would be maybe on a slightly different wavelength. You know, like the
That,
difference between infrared and ultraviolet.
that is, in fact, how I have been tracking our adversary.
Because that's how he does it. He's the same thing, except
He's using the same method, but not composed of the same energy.
Like the way that it.
no, because that would make him Galvanic Collective.
Yeah.
That is correct. The
But
collective
he's acting
is
like the Galvanic
a
Collective in
disruptive
reverse.
energy, whereas this individual is simply occupying space, much like when we use a metapod.
You said you tracked him. I think we get our food
Let's
to go, and
Fine.
We'll just hope there's still cheeseburgers in the world when we come back.
I want a cheeseburger.
Just get one to go.
But I've had 2 banana milkshakes now.
Yeah.
I am only small.
Right,
Sure.
but I've seen your metabolism. You spend
It's
more
true.
time in
Can
the
I have
bathroom
a
than all of us put
cheeseburger?
together.
Cheeseburger coming up.
Thank you. Look,
I thought
when you grow in manure,
that's what I thought you mushroom people ate.
well, I do like to enjoy food too, you know.
Okay.
Not everything not all nutrients come up through the toes and the roots.
Not all of it.
Especially on a metal floored spaceship.
Exactly.
We use the same metapods, right?
Yeah, we have like assigned ones.
Okay, good. Because yours is probably gross.
Yeah, no, it's going to be super gross.
Gross.
Yeah,
Like-
there are specific ones. Like there's a special one just for Paul because, well,
He's
your
giant.
metapods are all too small for Paul.
Makes sense.
It's like a regular pod, but it's like he just puts it over his head.
Well, Jonamox is essentially a small tube because he just goes into it as liquid.
Oh, we can move your pot around a lot.
Sloshy pie.
It's been a prank that's been pulled a few times.
Mine's a race car bed.
No one is
No one
surprised.
is
by that.
surprised.
It's a gold
No one
race
is
car bed.
surprised. All right.
Spray painted flames on the side.
Yeah, it goes faster.
Well, yeah, let's just go. Let's just go.
Let's
get
do
it done.
this.
Let's get it done. We'll go find him again and do nothing again.
Maybe this time,
No,
John.
we'll risk our lives, and it will do nothing.
Right.
Yes,
Look on the bright side.
I am the bright side.
But
That's it.
I highly suggest we come up with a different question to ask him this time.
Great.
I think we need more information.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
That sounds
Obviously, we're
Yeah.
missing information, Paul.
yeah.
So
thanks,
Paul, since you are our information/science officer,
Why
don't
are you
start
not coming?
doing some data mining for us, would you?
I'm working on that.
I'm sure you are.
Thank you, Paul. You're the handsomest rock I ever saw.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we all smell what the rock is cooking. Can we get out of here now?
Guilty.
All right, leaving Joe's, you reboard the Reliance. Metapods are waiting for you.
Okay. I'm excited to meet my new personality.
All right. Run the show, bud. I need you to run the show this time. This is you.
We'll
I'm not
figure-
playing Daddlemox again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be in control, but I don't think anybody wants that.
Nobody wants that. Thank you
want
for
that,
realizing.
but
We'd all have more fun.
We would, and then there would be no cheeseburgers left
Yeah, well,
ever.
Look, as we get closer to this guy, we're just going to need you to tell me everything you know about all of your encounters with him, all right?
we already have.
Really?
Pretty
You
sure,
told me
yeah.
everything?
Well, I've told you everything I know, which is just about diddly squat, but, you know.
He was gonna kill some kids. Just saying. He's also mass genocide.
He's
but
killed lots and lots of
specifically-
kids.
What's your
Almost
notice,
us.
Johnstone? What is your notice skill?
Oh, I'd be noticing some things.
What is it, by chance?
My notice is 12 plus 3.
Can we get a D12 plus 3 and a D6 roll?
Oh,
You know, just for shits.
Oh,
Just for
yeah.
shits.
There is a chance.
He
You
might have
are,
seen it.
one-
25.
You're
will tell you-
100%
23.
certain that they're
Or
hiding
20
something from you.
26 rather.
Mhm.
Your
What?
crew
What?
is hiding something from
Yep.
you.
I couldn't possibly hide anything. I'm too small.
I know that, but I'm not gonna press it just yet. I'm not gonna press the issue just yet.
It might be just a single detail, but it's something they don't feel comfortable telling you for some odd
Mhm.
reason.
Mhm.
Oh, I can't imagine. Why
Now,
that
do
might
I-
be.
Now, do I know that the princess really doesn't know, or does
Tertiary, but it's more Jonah Mox you're picking it up from. There's
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
very specific that Jonah Mox is keeping from
Even
you.
if I did
Yeah.
know,
It's
not
more in
gonna
him
stick around in my
avoiding the
headline.
subject than directly lying to you.
Oh yeah,
And-
I'm not going to directly lie to you. That's
No.
just not going to happen.
No.
And oddly enough, Jonah Mox is sweating.
Even though I have no sweat glands.
It's just your
How does-
skin, like.
You're just
I'm more like quiver, like when you
You're-
thump Jello.
yes. It,
Yeah,
it
Jonah
shakes
Mox
like
is
Jonah
definitely
Mox.
keeping something from you. He's got like an uncomfortableness around you that he didn't have before, rather than just being irritated with you, which he usually is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've also had to walk in his shoes a lot the last few weeks.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
It's weird having to be the responsible one sometimes.
Fantastic. All
Tell me
right.
what that's like.
Your
someday.
pods await.
Never.
Yeah. Well, since I don't actually need a pod, I'll
No,
just,
you do not, John.
You just tap in.
Yeah, it just kind of goes into almost a sleep-like state.
All right, I'll see you guys on the other side.
Yep.
Very classy.
Basically.
I just lean against the wall.
Yep. And then the white light of the metaverse surrounds you, and you find yourself in some wild and crazy new avatars. And who are these avatars? Well, no less than galactic heroes. The crew of Sarek Forrester, known throughout the Galactic Republic for his heroic deeds. Over the years, he has accumulated quite a bit of people among his crew. And Vector Rains will be piloting the avatar of Sarek Forrester, captain of the Arrow of Justice, team leader, heroic, honor-bound, and committed to always doing what is right and just. Sarek is a definite pain in the ass. That's right. Princess Hedgehog is in the avatar of Shay Sundown.
Dado mocks for life. Sorry, bud, you've been typecast. At least it doesn't require shape-shifting. Hashtag Benny.
Thank you.
Thank you. Princess Hedgehog will have the avatar of Shay Sundown, hacktivist, tech junkie, mechanic extraordinaire. Shay was wrongfully arrested for a crime she didn't commit and had to go on the run. And it took a team-up of Sarek and one of our other avatars to prove her innocence and rescue her from a dark conspiracy. And she's stayed by his side ever since. Plus, it's really fun hanging out with Sarek. It gets into all kinds of trouble.
Absolutely.
I mean, no person have you ever been around that gets you into more trouble than this guy.
Oh, for sure. Into trouble, into mainframes. I got my fingies in everything.
Mm-hmm. John Stone is in the avatar of Elijah Kane, an aging cyborg, the oldest friend and first mate of Sarek. Suspicious, distant, physically imposing, Elijah has been saving Sarek's ass for years and never getting any recognition for it. All the headlines talk about Sarek saves the galaxy. Nobody says anything about Elijah.
I see you, Elijah.
Mm-hmm. And Jonamox is in the avatar of Pike, formerly an unscrupulous bounty hunter. Pike shared a professional rivalry with Sarek for years before teaming up for just one job. Only the one job. That job was 4 years ago, and Pike is still around, always claiming that he's going to jump ship at the next spaceport. But he never does.
I'm leaving.
See you next time, buddy.
And what are these characters up to? Well, they're currently in pursuit of a kidnapped princess. That's right.
So cliche.
Mm-hmm. Princess Tassia of the Agan Hegemony has been kidnapped. Tassia was supposed to marry Prince Ryle of the Caldan Empire and unite the two long-standing warring galactic governments, bringing peace to a very unstable and dangerous galaxy. But that marriage is not going to happen if the princess has been kidnapped. This has been kept secret, but running out of time to rescue her. Now, without it, the whole thing's going to collapse, and these two giant empires will go back to war, and it will be terrible for all of the people caught up in this conflict.
How do we even know she's being kidnapped? I don't want to marry a crusty old prince. Maybe she's just run away.
You don't know that he's old and crusty.
He's a prince. He's old and crusty. If he's not old and crusty now, he'll be old and crusty later.
Hey. When you're talking about age, let's not make that a bad thing, all right?
Okay, so not old and crusty. In your case, just old and rusty. I'm sorry.
She got you there. That was good.
Hey, one flick of my servo and your head comes off.
One flick of your servo. Absolutely. I've been deep in your servo. I wouldn't brag about it that much.
Hey, you liked it.
Calm down, everyone. King Horse has contacted me and let me know the details. Here, I can read them to you out loud.
If you don't mind.
Well, your current information through some of Pike's contacts has you believing that pirates were responsible for the kidnapping. Perhaps this is a ransom situation. It's not like you haven't handled plenty of these kind in the past. I mean, pirates. No
How
big
did
deal.
pirates even come across a bird? Was she just just hanging out, waving little flags, saying, come and steal me away"?
It does raise some suspicions for you, doesn't it? But it's why you find yourself out here in the outer systems, where allegedly these pirates are holed up somewhere in one of the hundreds of asteroid fields out here.
Yeah, but they have a few favorite ones.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Which one are they at, guys?
Let's start over there.
That way.
You bring the
Right
arrow
that
of
way.
justice about, headed towards one of the distant asteroid fields, which has enough large bodies in it to perhaps hide a ship or two. Who knows?
Or a couple of large bodies.
Yeah, distinctly possible. And as you close in, suddenly the alarms on your computer defense system go off. Torpedo lock.
Shake.
Every time. Yep.
And a dozen torpedoes fire forth from a ship which powers up, its drives igniting and speeding away as the torpedoes hurtle across space towards the arrow of justice. What do you do?
Well, who didn't see this coming?
Evasive actions.
Going for some evasive actions, not a bad plan.
Sure.
Countermeasures. What do we got?
A variety of point defense systems are generally used for engaging torpedoes. They're very rapid-fire machine guns, essentially, which you're designed to shoot torpedoes out of the air.
I will man one of those then.
Okay.
I'm going to plug directly into the targeting system to make sure that they're accurate.
All right.
I'm on standby for when something breaks. And it will.
I'm also going to use the targeting system in reverse to aid in us in evading things that are coming toward us.
All right. Perfect. Well then, we're going to manage this with a dramatic task using the Savage Worlds dramatic task system.
Dramatic task.
That's right. A slightly modified version that we do to speed things along here and Savage Worlds. Now, because you're using a support action, we're going to start with you, Elijah Kane, because your actions are directly going to influence those of the captain and Pike. So, in your case, it's going to be multi-acting because you're using the those targeting systems to do two different jobs.
Right. So
what skill do you think on your sheet is going to be the most suited towards working with those computer systems to assist with targeting and for evasive maneuvers?
Did you say skills?
Skill or skills. You can choose one or do two separate ones.
Okay.
You could repeat the same one because it could be applicable for what you're doing.
I have shooting and I have electronics.
Electronics is a wonderful choice of a skill for this particular task.
So, yeah. So
What do you have for electronics?
A 6.
All right.
Not
let's
that
take
impressive, to
A
be
6
honest.
and a 6. True, but because you are a cyborg, you get a +2 bonus to these checks. So even with the -2 multi-action penalty, a 4 is going to be a success for a support roll to help out with the targeting for Pike. So that's going to be a +1 bonus for Pike's roll. And then one more of those rolls to see if you can assist Cyric at the helm. Another D6 and D6. 6 aces. And that becomes a raise. So you're going to give a +2 bonus to Cyric's piloting roll to evade. Which, let's go to those rolls next. We're going to start with you, Pike, because you're going to try and shoot the torpedoes out, and that will limit the number that the captain has to evade.
So these things coming, you want me to shoot them?
Yeah.
They're coming pretty quick. I don't know, man.
You are a slow shot, but I think you could do it, Pike.
Okay, Cap.
I'm helping you track them so you can shoot them better, though.
I gotta say, this job kind of sucks. I think I'm probably gonna get off at the next
I'm going
point.
to take this home and I'm going to sweet talk the ship.
Got it.
I'm going to tell it that it's a beautiful, beautiful beast before someone destroys it.
All right, I'm going to need a shooting test from you, Pike. I'm operating those PDCs.
I'll take it. Pike has a whopping D8 shooting score.
All right, a D8 and a D6 +1 bonus from the assist from Elijah.
Yeah, man, I got a 5.
A
That's
5 is a
awesome.
single
I won.
success. Not too bad at all. 1 success. So you're going to end up with a total of a +4 bonus to that piloting test to evade
Wow.
these torpedoes, from some of them getting shot down, some of the assistance from Elijah, but there's still quite a few torpedoes that could turn the Arrow of Justice into just some
Swiss
space
cheese.
junk.
The arrow has never failed me.
What do you got for piloting over there?
I've got a D12.
Whoa!
Wow.
All right, a D12 and a D6 with a +4 bonus. That's 6 aces. 5, that's going to be a 15 altogether.
Mm.
So that's going to be pretty intensive. Now, several were shot down, but that does mean that I need you to roll 6 8-sided dice, and let's see if any of them can beat a 15.
All right. I like these odds.
Well, 2 of them exploded, so
I like
2 of
those
them
odds.
might. A 14 and a 15, it looks like on those. So one of them does manage to hit from the dozen torpedoes. And it's going to do some damage unless you've got a way to soak damage to a vehicle when you are hit.
Thankfully, I'm an ace pilot, so I can spend bennies to soak damage for any vehicle I control.
All right, well, let's start with the damage roll first. That is going to be 5d8 damage from the torpedo strike to the Arrow of Justice. And one of those aced, and we're going to have a total of 31 damage. Now, the Arrow is a pretty stout ship, but that still would be enough to inflict 2 wounds to her chassis. So a soak roll on her part, I'm going to need a D12 and a D6 from to see if we can soak that.
Spend a personal benny for that.
It's personal benny spent. Keep track of those.
Uh,
6 aces. 7 and 7, not quite a raise. That's enough to soak 1 wound. So a single wound will come
From
through.
the depths and the bowels of this ship, you hear, "What are you doing?" Fine, I got it. I got it.
now, can I use any of my skills to assist in her repairing the ship?
Well,
am I
thankfully,
only
with
doing-
only a single wound, the arrow isn't too damaged yet. Most of it is superficial on the outside. Plating's got some holes in it.
Sure.
There's going to be, it's cosmetic damage at this point.
All right.
The worst kind of damage.
Yes. Something that happens
Look, it
to...
doesn't matter what she looks like as long as she gets you there, okay?
It is something that happens to the Arrow of Justice, well, all too often when Zerk's in command. He tends to put you
Yeah.
into dangerous situations.
Absolutely.
The ship tends to get shot.
Just because I'm good at my job doesn't mean you get to abuse that, okay?
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah, that we trust you, Shay, and I trust you with the life of myself and Arrow.
Could you trust me a little less and maybe pilot a little harder?
Whoa, whoa, a lot of shade being thrown.
You want to pull over so she can drive?
Look, you can stop complaining. I can help you repair anything that gets
Oh, I
out of
don't
hand.
need your help. Don't worry.
I need your help. Come on.
Team, simmer
Yeah.
down. Do we need a hot cocoa break?
Yeah.
All right, Shay, fire up the hot cocoa.
No, not right now. We're not. Not when there are torpedoes actively coming for us.
Well, those torpedoes
Yes.
are down, but the ship that fired them is escaping. It is almost at the limit of sensor range already.
I mean,
Since
they fired
you had to
us.
spend that time
That-
evading those torpedoes. It was almost like it was a delaying tactic so they could escape.
Yeah,
But they
that's
lose
our
it.
guy, though, so we should probably follow him, I'm
Full
thinking.
speed
Shay,
ahead.
get the boosters ready.
I'm being lose the signature, so
Yeah,
we need to do
all
it now.
right.
And the hot cocoa.
Right? Eliza's on the hot cocoa. And weapons, right?
Not the cocoa. Negative on the
I
cocoa.
tell you what, you're running
give
this
people
engine
the weirdest
so hot,
nicknames,
I can
Cap.
boil water on it.
That'll work for me.
Unbelievable.
You're going to try and coax a little extra out of
I
the
am going
engines.
to try to coax a little
All
extra out
right.
of the engines.
What skill are you going to use to do that?
Fighting?
Probably repair.
That's a good choice. What have you got for repair?
I've got a D12 plus 2.
Oof, D12 plus 2 and a D6. Wow. Somebody's good at their job. A 13. Oh, you can kick on a bit of extra speed for that.
Absolutely. It looks a little bit, you know, I've got my tools, I've got my tool belt, and I'm shaking a tool at the engine and saying to it, I swear to God.
The burst of
swear to
speed.
God, if you do this for me, baby, we're going to get a little bit further. But you piece of shit better not fall apart.
The burst of speed is significant, so much so that even with the artificial gravity and the inertial dampeners, you feel it.
Whoa!
That's a bit of a boost.
We
That's
are
right. Keep you
definitely
around,
pulling
Shay.
some G's,
I
Cap.
thought it was my sparkling personality.
Yeah, that too.
And you
That's
are
right.
slowly gaining on this ship, which you can clearly see is at maximum burn. They have got the pedal to the floor, but you're just going faster. It's only a matter of time before you get them within range.
I've got a good lock on her. If
Yo,
you want to
Shay.
fire anytime.
Shay, you don't really think it's your sparkling personality, do you? I mean, you understand that you're very abrasive.
I'm extremely realistic. I'm also funny.
Could the
It
two of you
was a
stop
joke.
flirting and keep him head in the game?
Wait, just now or before when you were saying that?
I'll let you figure that out, all right?
That's why I love my crew. The camaraderie.
So,
I really enjoy
Orders,
the paycheck.
Captain.
yeah, Pike, when
Elijah.
exactly are you going to step off the boat?
Is that like code for something sexual?
I think it is.
In your dreams, babe. In your dreams.
Yeah, and all
It's
of his
nearly
dreams.
within range. Now, of course, you know, if the princess is aboard, you don't exactly want to blow this thing up.
If you could hit the engines, Elijah, that would be much appreciated.
The engines.
Call
Yeah.
shot on the engines. We can do that.
If you
Wait.
hit the engines a
Shit.
little too hard, you're going to blow up the whole ship.
Yeah.
Okay, so Elijah, don't belay that.
I got this.
Good.
I know what to do.
I'll keep driving.
So I'm just gonna try to aim for the warp core to shut down their warp capabilities, so that they will slow down and they can't jump
No
out of
warp.
here.
There's no warp.
There's no jump.
There ain't no jump?
There's no jumping.
Oh well, good. Then I don't have to worry about that then. So I'll hit just their basic drive.
Yeah,
Then I'll still slow down just basically to inertia
I
speed.
mean, the
you
torpedoes
got
are
it.
pretty devastating. If you maybe detonated one a little early before physical impact,
Yeah, I
it
can
would
cook the thing
probably be
off.
enough to disable it, but you're going to have to time it just right.
I'm good at timing. Good at timing. Cyborgs. We time things all the time.
Sure,
You're
babe.
running a little slow, Elijah, but it's okay. We'll get you up to speed.
Captain, how many times I saved your ass?
14.
lot.
Exactly.
Right? 14?
I'd
So
say more
leave-
than 14, but who's
No, I'm just saying since I've been here, 14.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Leave this to me.
That's 14 in 2 years. You've been with each other for what, 20?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be a shooting test on your part. What do you got for shooting?
I got 8.
All
Shoot.
right, I'll take a D8 and a D6. Again, you're using the ship system, so you get a +2 bonus to this roll. We're going to get a 7 on there, unless you want to spend a Benny to try and roll better.
Yeah, why not?
You want to spend a personal Benny or one of those store Bennies?
Store Benny.
Store Benny spent. Roll it again, see if we can do better than that. That's 6
Hey.
aces. All right, that's going to be a 10. That's a success with a
Oh.
raise. You detonate
Nice.
that torpedo just shy of the drives. And as it explodes, it's going to deal that, again, 5d8 damage if we can get that rolled real quick and see what happens. Oh, yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yep, you are able to time it, and quite the explosion goes off. Not every single motor in that drive goes off. You can still see a little bit of blue streak coming out behind it as it's moving along, but the speed drops dramatically. It's now only about 10% of the speed it was going before. You're going to catch it in moments.
Ironically,
What
I'm gonna go
the
get
ship
dressed
is called
aboard.
the Blue Streak too. So
Are we thinking black tie or
I was thinking a little bit of combat armor, but that's just me.
Yeah,
you
whatever
don't
you
have
want
your
to.
black tie armor?
You know I don't wear the uniform.
know.
You know I won't wear that.
I can keep trying though. That's what I got.
Yeah, you remember that time that we had to go to that banquet thing and you
Yep.
tried to lend me your jacket and they
Yep.
kicked me out for indecent exposure even
Yep.
though you were
Hey.
wearing the exact same jacket?
Yep.
Whatever you guys can kick ass in, let's wear that. How about it, huh?
I can kick ass in anything, but I
Clearly.
prefer to look good.
I mean, yeah, there was that one time where you did it in Speedo.
I'm in a
How did
Speedo
that
right
make
now.
a book cover, by the way?
That's a funny story.
No, it is not.
Okay, I thought it was a funny story. We can talk about it later.
They're clearly still trying to run, but have no chance at that slow crawl that they're moving at.
Shay, are you going to come with us for this one, or
oh, absolutely.
you? Okay. You know I love having you around.
Aw, see, Captain likes me.
I mean, I like all of you.
Hey, I
so
like you just fine. I just said that you were abrasive. I didn't say I didn't enjoy it.
Sometimes we like. a
Sure,
little
I
scrub.
can't always tell when you're joking because you're abrasive.
That's true.
It just tells me you're a glutton for punishment.
No,
I'm not against that.
I happen to be a glutton. for
Can we
punishment.
dispense with the foreplay and get to the boom boom? And I don't mean YouTube boom boom. I mean like with weapons and stuff. Can we?
I mean, we don't really want to go in blasting Elijah. The princess is on board.
I'm not
possibly.
saying all willy nilly.
Is Robot Man making fun of me again?
I think
am.
it might be.
I am.
Yeah. It's staggering vocabulary, Robot
I've been on this ship a
Man.
long time. And I'm a cyborg, all right? I'm still human inside.
Cyborg,
But he
Robot
does have
Man.
access to a
I got
dictionary.
the soul of a poet, as a matter of fact, if you want to know.
Oh, did you have that installed?
Downloaded.
This guy. Can we get to fighting them before I start fighting him, please?
We'll table this, but next Hot Cocoa break.
Oh, it's
No,
on.
It's on.
It's on.
There's going to be marshmallows.
With their
Okay.
reduced speed, it is quite easy to match velocity and lock
Let's just.
ship to ship. But you're going to have to force the airlock, because they're not opening the door for you.
That's
Surprise, surprise.
Going in with a wrench.
Or I
I'm
can
going
just
to need
rip
another
the-
one of those repair wheels from you
Oh,
to force
for
the air-
sure. Let's
Or
get
you can use hacking if you'd like.
Or I could just
okay.
rip it
I
open.
mean,
But
of
then
the
we can't use
two,
it
actually
afterwards.
repairs a little
Nah,
higher.
who
So
needs to
let's
use
go with 12 plus 2.
All right, a D12 and a D6, adding 2.
Like,
See what we get. Oh, that 12 aced. It
break
takes
it
you
good enough.
just a couple of moments, and you are able to force open the airlock and are greeted by a hail of bullets sprayed into the open
Whoa.
airlock. Thankfully, no one was stupid enough to stand right in front of the doors when they opened, but
But
Well,
they
I-
shot anyway.
as soon as
Well-
the doors opened, they shot. They didn't wait to see anyone. It's clear they're not being friendly about this whole thing.
hey, I'm delicate. Put down your weapons.
Also, what is
Now-
this? Is this ship just carrying ammunition
I
that they
guess
could just
so.
willy-nilly shoot into a
I
hallway?
mean,
Those
how
things
are
are
they getting
expensive.
their
See
hands
that?
on all of this?
Willy-nilly, it's a good word, right?
Yeah, I do like willy-nilly.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see how
but
these
his
cards
sister.
turn up.
Oh,
Whoa!
These are bullets, you said, right? Yeah?
Let's see how these initiative cards turn up, shall we?
All bullets, no lasers.
that's crappy.
Oh, I hate
And
that.
because you're all the way in Avatar, quick's not a factor for you, is it?
No, you didn't give me anything like that at all.
Nope. All right, so you're stuck with that 4 at the moment.
Just gave me stuff I can't use.
Oh.
Damn it.
What's it like?
Having stuff I can't use.
But fittingly,
about normal.
Captain, Sirik, looks like you're going to go first with that 10 of diamonds. Some fire came through there. I mean, you haven't peeked around the edge of the airlock frame to see into the ship to see what's going on in there. But somebody immediately shot as soon as that thing opened, which tells you a couple of things. They're not friendly,
No,
and they have guns.
not yet friendly.
When they're more scared
Not
than smart.
yet friendly. What are you going to do? You going to cocoa break with them?
No, they don't get cocoa.
Okay.
They get coffee. A little bitter, but a little sweet.
Parlay?
I'm gonna
Really?
pull up my pistol,
Okay.
and I'm gonna. I don't know if you know who this is, but I'll let you know now.
Here we go again.
This is Sirik Forrester of
I
the Arrow of
press a
Justice.
button. I press a button and music starts playing.
Why do you always do that with your voice when you're talking to new people?
What are you talking about?
It's his
Don't
thing.
worry
Just
about
let
it.
him. Just let he does.
If
that.
if you would throw your guns this way, we could let you leave with just a slap on the wrist.
And this never works, by the way. It never works. He doesn't.
Otherwise, we will be forced to fire.
He's kind of dramatic that way. He just.
So, what exactly are you using to try and?
I'm going to try persuasion,
Okay.
hoping that they know the name of Sirik Forrester.
What do you
of the
got for
Arrow Line.
persuasion?
I've got a D4.
All right, let's take a D4 and a D6 as you try to talk them into surrendering. Hey, that 4 aced. It's not too bad. A 5. That might work on your average mook, but these individuals are not buying your line.
Okay.
Cat,
Yeah.
would you like me to give it a go before we start shooting everyone?
I mean, if the name of Sirik Forrester doesn't strike fear in their hearts,
If it'll make things go fast, I could just smash the heads.
Let's see who's next on the card.
Not me.
Not me.
Well, it looks like your first mate, Elijah, is up next. I love that he supplies his own sound effects.
All right. How many of them are they're around
Nobody's
the corner?
really-
Is that right?
Nobody's popped their head out to see. Just bullets flew as soon as the airlock opened.
Right.
And everyone was smart enough to, not be standing right where the doors were when they opened.
Right.
Because it's not your first time in a hostile boarding situation. And the general response is, airlock is forced open, shoot! Maybe you'll get somebody who's dumb enough to be standing right where the door is.
Okay. How high is the ceiling?
And it's only about 7 feet. I mean,
Oh, is that it?
corridors are pretty tight in
Ah.
on-board ship because space is at a premium.
Maybe
Okay.
space. Space and space.
Yeah, there's not a lot of space in space.
Yeah. Okay.
A limitless expanse. And yet, we have not enough of it.
All right. Very good. Let me see here.
It's hard to know
So
for
I'm kind
sure.
of an old school cyborg. I don't have a lot of cool things that I can do. I'm just really good at fighting, though.
You are very good at fighting,
I'm-
and you're
And I can
really
shoot pretty well.
hardy. Is an easy
Yes,
way of putting
I'm
it.
durable.
Yeah.
I'm sturdy.
There's a
Reliable.
lot of ceramic plating instead and metal instead of skin, and no vital organs.
Right.
Including a heart.
Just don't make it so I have to fix you, okay? Again.
I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers, consulting with the rain. That's
That's
Much as you can do.
yeah, that's the scarecrow though. All right, so I'm just gonna sprint. Now, how far down are they? Like around
You're
the
not
corner?
sure, again,
Like down
you-
around the corner?
You haven't poked your
Only
head out
bullets have come down. You're not sure what's
Alright,
on the other
fine.
side.
So I'm just gonna start run, and I'm gonna absorb bullets as I run toward where the bullets are coming from, to see who it is that we're dealing with.
All right, you break around that opening of the airlock and are moving towards. Looks to you, 8 individuals. They're in better armor than you'd expect space pirates to be using. It's a lot more uniform than the cobbled together stuff you tend to see in space pirates, and using kind of standard issue military type hardware instead of random odd
Okay.
weapons. And rather than even being arrayed like space pirates tend to be with no real organization, they're in smart positions with cover. A couple of them have some polymer blast shields that they're using ducked down behind to cover the hallway. It's a pretty smart setup. I mean, it's almost textbook military academy setup.
Interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna assume the princess is here. They're protecting her. These are her people.
You don't see any princess.
You don't see a princess.
Nope.
But
but still.
are these soldiers wearing the markings of her?
They're not wearing any markings at all.
But they are organized as if they are.
Yeah, they look like soldiers. They're
Interesting.
acting like soldiers in the way that they're set up.
Huh.
Their
interesting.
gear is what you might expect soldiers to have. But there's no
Okay.
uniform, no markings.
So I'm not going to use lethal force on these guys.
Okay.
I don't yet know if these are bad guys or good guys, or if it's going to put us in a bad situation by
They
just
were
smashing their heads
they were
into pulp.
just firing on us.
Well, yeah, but they're defending themselves. We boarded them.
Sure.
To be fair, they did shoot missiles at us first.
Thank you.
Yeah, that,
True, but we thought they were pirates. They're
Yeah.
clearly not. So rather than stoke an interstellar incident, let's give it a moment. Cause they can't hurt me anyway.
good thinking, Elijah.
So I'm
They
just gonna.
can.
I'm just gonna. Well, they got bullets for now.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I'm gonna hurt you. All right. So there's 8 of them.
Yeah, 8 of them. Kind of spaced out a little bit, but not
Are they
too far.
Are they taking cover behind something or just?
The 2 that are closest to the front have mobile polymer blast shields that they're down behind. The others behind them are using the natural portions of the hallway to get some cover using doorways.
How wide is this corridor?
Only about 5 feet. Again, not,
Oh, easy. All right.
not particularly broad. It's pretty tight confines.
So right now I'm just playing football. Right. I'm an offensive lineman. I'm just gonna run at these 2 guys. Not gonna try to kill them,
What?
but I'm just gonna bash through them.
Try and take down the 2 guys with the polymer shields.
Yeah.
Okay. That is going to be multi-action, but it's going to be fighting. So we're going to do 2 fighting rolls. What do you got for your fighting skill?
I believe the one is plenty.
Well, Elijah Kane is. Tell you what. I'm gonna go halvesies.
Spending the Benny.
Yep.
Personal or store?
Store.
Store Benny spent. You going in the middle on your slider? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
All right. 2 cyborgs for the price of 1.
Hey,
Yes.
All right, that does mean you're at a -1
great
on
tastes that taste
actions,
great
but can
together.
use either sheet equally.
Yes. The reason I would do that is because my fighting as Elijah Kane is 8. My fighting as John Stone is 12 plus 2.
So even with the multi-action penalty and the being in the middle penalty, you're at 12 minus 1 for both attacks.
Yeah.
Ooh, a D12 and a D6 -1. We're going to do that twice. The first one, 10. Wow. And the second one, 6 aces. Aces again. So a 10 and a 16 with -1s. Those are both going to be hits. One of them is going to be a hit with a raise. What is your unarmed damage?
Let's see.
You're going to be using Elijah
damage.
Kane's unarmed damage because you're in Elijah
His
Kane's
body. Correct.
But you can use any of the bonus abilities that John Stone has that affect unarmed damage. For example, the martial arts, martial warrior, brawler, any of those things that
Well,
make him hit
both
harder.
of my guys have. Okay. Well, okay. Oh, so much to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got brawler, got brawny, got bruiser, brawler, martial artist. Wow. Gee, what should I wear? What should I wear? Wait, am I trying to damage? So I'm looking for something that increases damage.
Yeah, I believe brawler, martial artist, and martial warrior all increase damage. I believe
Die
bruiser
4
does
to
too.
unarmed damage. That's what brawler does.
Yep, and each one of those other ones increases it a step. So it becomes a D6 with martial arts. It becomes a D8 with bruiser. Do you have martial warrior as well?
I do. Yeah.
That becomes a D8.
I'm glad you noticed all in your head there.
Yeah.
What a nerd.
So that's going to be your
Wow,
strength
wow.
plus a D8. So what is Elijah Kane's strength?
Oh, I have over here. Oh, martial art, martial warrior.
Yeah.
Okay. Supernatural strength. Yeah. Okay.
What is Elijah Kane's strength die? Up towards
Elijah
the top.
Kane's strength is 12 plus 4.
All right, so a D12 and a D8 plus 4 for damage.
Oh boy.
Wow, that's it.
Wow.
Unfortunate.
What?
White. That was the first guy.
First one, a hit with an 8 isn't going to do a whole lot because of the combat armor, but it does stagger him back a little bit. The second one, you get to do that same damage, plus an extra D6 is added in because he got a raise on that one. That 6
Thank
aced.
goodness.
So the first one, you kind of just knock him off balance, but the second guy does a couple of backflips before hitting the ground, completely unconscious. You've knocked one of them out. Let's see whose card is next. Well, we've got 2 different 4s, but spades go before clubs.
Don't we have to do the 8s still?
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
your
I
guys
get to
are-
go.
your
You
guys
get to
are
go.
Going.
Yay!
Oh, who told him? I did.
I get a turn. I get a turn. Well, you know, Elijah has made himself the priority target by moving into the hallway.
Sure.
So they're going to open fire on Elijah. So if I can get 7 8-sided dice rolled as they all shoot at Elijah.
Yeah, this always happens.
That's why we keep you around.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
so we are going to get 1 hit with a raise and 4 regular hits for a total of 5 of those hitting. So let's go ahead and start rolling damage on those. Let's do the hit with the raise first. It's going to do 3d6 plus 1. Here's the big hit. That's only going to be 14. What's your toughness, Elijah?
Toughness is 16.
16, that's not going to do it. All right, let's do 2d6 plus 1. 6 aces. Maybe we're getting somewhere here. Nope, that's not going to do it either. Let's do it again. 2d6 plus 1. Nope, that's not going to do it. Let's do it again. Nope, and then one more time. Hey, 6 aces. Maybe we're getting somewhere here. No, bullets ricochet off of the plating that lines your body, causing no real damage. Uh-oh, somebody's mic.
Somebody's mic.
I hope it's not mine.
Is it mine again? It's Sean's.
Oh no.
The batteries?
Ah, okay.
Battery's fine.
You need to
Oh,
adjust your
it's-
collar so your mic doesn't move along your neck.
Perfect. Well, unfortunately, that's all they're able to do is ineffectually attempt to bring down Elijah Kane, and not a thing happens because he's a nearly invulnerable cyborg. Shay, you're up.
We need to get this audio problem taken care of real quick.
Well, let's see. I mean, is there any way to access the ship
Should be fine.
It's on mute right now, is why.
from where
Maybe.
we are?
Maybe, but it would be really difficult and be time consuming from here.
I mean, sure.
I'm still
but
muted, though.
They're being entertained by the cyborg right now.
It's true.
And I
I'm
want
on
to
mute.
know everything about everything they have on board.
On my end, you're not.
Okay.
It might say mute, but I hear you through my headphones. It's okay.
Are we better?
All right.
Okay. Might be a. All right.
Let Leo come over and play with
Leo
your
flying
microphone.
in.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
You could theoretically, but it would take several minutes, and combat's gauged in rounds of 6 seconds.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right. Fine. Don't have a lot on fighting, but I do have a little bit on shooting. So, since they're being entertained by the cyborg, I'm going to pop out and just take pot shots at them.
Gonna shoot one of them.
I am. I'm gonna try.
What have you got for
For shooting,
Shooting.
we're rolling on a D8.
what are you using to shoot at them specifically?
Road Warrior?
Oh, it's a shotgun.
It's a shotgun.
You're using a sawed-off shotgun in a tight corridor hallway. That will go over remarkably well.
I'm sure it will. It might clear a path. It might hit him. Don't
So
worry, I
boss
can
will
fix
go
it.
with the violence then?
Apparently.
Do what you can to minimize loss of life, everyone.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to the ship.
You said a D8 for shooting?
I do have a D8 for
All
shooting.
right.
I try to persuade them, Captain. I really would, but as previously mentioned, I'm a little bit abrasive, and my persuasion is a 4.
All right, that's going to be a D8 and a D6. Because you're using a shotgun, you get a +2 bonus. But if
Mine's
any
a
of your
10.
dice turns up as a 1, like in this case, you accidentally shot the
That's what
cyborg
I do.
Elijah instead because you're using a shotgun.
Well,
What's the listed damage for that thing?
Yeah, it's wait, what's the damage? Oh, I don't know. It is 3d6.
All right, if we can roll 3d6 as Elijah Kane is shot in the back by one of his allies. How's a 15 do against your toughness?
Not quite.
Not quite close, though.
Ah, that kind of.
Shot through the back!
Yeah.
You're to blame!
I am.
Yeah, that
You
that
said
was
you
kind
could
of
take
annoying.
it, so, I
Pike,
gave it to you.
there's been some shooting.
Uh-huh.
A little bit.
Are they done?
They seem to still be trying to fight it out. Elijah's kind of in the midst of all of it.
Well, of course they're going to keep shooting as long as he's standing there in the middle, knocking dudes down. I will,
Hey, you want to knock dudes down?
very carefully. No, I wanted to talk to them, big fella.
Words before fists. You know that's our motto, Elijah.
Hey, you cut me loose, huh? I said, hey, can we get to the bang bang? And you were like, yeah, let's do it.
I think you
Remember
called it the
this.
boom boom, but
Yeah.
either way, the second thing you said sounds way more like you're talking about poop.
How do you talk about poop?
So it was just a shit idea from the beginning. Okay.
Exactly. I am going
the
to
crap.
quietly wait for the robot man to finish ripping off the heads of all of these people.
Oh, you knocked one guy unconscious. Seemed to be
I
pulling
didn't
his
see
punches.
anything. I'm not looking around that corner. There are people shooting at us.
That's true.
I've been using non-lethal force.
All right,
Jeez.
just gonna let it keep going then. Not
What else
acting.
am I going to do?
It's called
Okay.
finesse.
Is there, can I see a guy? I'm not shooting at
Wait a
anybody.
minute,
My
that's
plan
it.
is
By
not to
accident,
shoot
yeah.
people.
Oh.
I'm not shooting people.
I didn't
Well,
think
with the
so.
cyborg blocking the corridor, you
Yeah.
might be able to take a
Suppressing
peek without
fire,
getting
just so
shot.
Then I
happens
will
to
take a
be up
peek.
large
Yeah,
part of
you
the
kind of see
corridor.
the same setup. One of them's clearly been knocked unconscious. The others are in a rather military setup as opposed to pirates. And again, you read this; these are not pirates.
No, these are
100%. These are not pirates.
these are soldiers who don't want us to know what army they normally work for.
Yeah, and they're currently shooting at Elijah, and you think they're pretty scared.
You know, bullets don't work on him.
He's made of metal.
Did you not see that the first few times you shot him?
Oh, but by all
The
means,
best part is I
waste
can
your
turn off
ammo.
the oxygen in there, and he doesn't even need to breathe.
Oh,
That's
true.
my my persuasion roll.
Going with persuasion or intimidation? I want to make sure I got the right one.
Let's see, which is higher? They're the same.
Persuasion?
Intimidation sounds like a better way to go.
Intimidation?
Since I am threatening to kill them.
You are threatening them. So what is your intimidation?
It's 10.
All right, a D10 and a D6. Ooh, that's 6
Hey.
aces. Oh, wow. The aces
Hey.
again. The shooting pauses for a second. One of them shouts out, well, what kind of a deal can we make here?
Well, if you answer our questions, you may just be able to go about your business. Or, you know, you can fight the biggest heroes in the galaxy and probably die.
We'll take the first option.
That's a great idea.
Can you call off the attack, Cyborg?
Oh, yeah, I don't know the code for that. Cap?
It's almost like you should have listened to me from the beginning,
Okay.
young man.
We got the upper hand here.
I need to rub it in.
Yeah, I know you don't need to rub it in. Then they become less cooperative.
By the way, the attack cyborg has a name. It's Elijah Kane. See, they never know
Oh,
who
yeah,
I.
no,
they
I-
know who you are.
It's weird. I never bothered to learn
Elijah?
cyborgs' names because of the whole robot uprising thing a few years back. How is it that you're like the most well-liked cyborg in the world and still nobody likes you?
I like you, Elijah.
Because I'm not a robot.
Elijah, we don't need to take them out. They're willing to listen and work with us, aren't you, gentlemen?
Yeah, just, what do you want to know?
Well, one, I want your guns on the floor so that we don't get shot.
Yeah, that's really the only way this works.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we would offer to put our guns on the floor too, but you have to understand we have a bulletproof robot man.
All right,
Cyborg.
if you call the bulletproof robot man back, we'll put our guns on the floor.
Cyborg.
All right,
Cyborg.
Come on.
He has a name. Please refer to him as Elijah. He is
Okay.
a person, not a toaster.
All right, if you call Elijah back, we'll put our guns on the floor.
Just fucking tell him to walk back. He's got a name. He's a person.
Here,
Yay.
Eli.
Elijah, will you back up, please?
So I walk back down the corridor, but I'm staring them down as I walk past them. And I go,
Once you
Elijah
get about
Kane.
10 feet back, they start
Elijah
setting their guns
Kane.
down.
Elijah Kane.
Hard shove to pike as you walk.
And you heard the sound of guns clattering on the deck. All right, guns are down.
Cool. So you want to talk here in the corridor, or our place, your place?
This works just fine. Let's keep our space.
Okay, but I think we should be able to see each other at least.
Okay.
Hands up. It's me. How you doing? It's your boy, Pike.
Guns are on the floor.
Great.
Good
So,
job, everyone.
you guys are not pirates.
Not really, no.
No, you're military guys. You're at least a sergeant. The rest of you, I'm not sure about.
Former.
Okay. Not retired, though, so I'm assuming you're taking contract work?
Independent.
Uh-huh. And you were contracted to shoot at us and run away?
No, that wasn't our contract, but we
But you did
we
it.
knew that someone was chasing us and we didn't want to get caught.
Sir, where is the princess?
You firing at us is the reason. It's the reason that we started following you.
We were just in the system and then torpedoes, and it's like, hey, they came from there. Let's chase
If
them.
you were just in
If
the
somebody's
system,
firing at us,
Oh
and we
no,
think
we're
to
in the
ourselves,
system
"Oh,
working, but unless you have a princess with you, we are completely uncaring about what you are doing with your time.
there's no princess on board.
So the prince is in another castle?
Who hired you to shoot at us random, illustrious, amazing ship?
A broker was in between.
Mm-hmm. And can you get a hold of this broker?
No, it was all electronic transfers and communication. Keeps things
Okay.
anonymous.
Yep. All right.
Well then, I
I'm gonna
guess
say that through all of this, I have been trying to.
yeah, you're gonna you're gonna hack into their stuff.
I'm hacking their asses off.
How'd you know about the princess?
It's a good
Oh,
question.
so there is a princess,
I feel
She's
like-
not on board.
But
but she used to be.
Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
already did the handoff.
and where did that happen and when?
That near a jump point.
Yeah.
Elijah, what's that? You're getting angry that this guy is stalling so long?
Near a jump point about a day or so ago.
Oh, okay.
Great. Any idea where they were headed?
No, weird thing, you know, with all the prosthetics around, you'd think that the guy with the one hand would have replaced his hand, but he just had the one hand.
Oh,
One-handed
great.
Jimmy.
Okay. And he didn't say where they didn't.
So you handed off.
Wait, which gate was it?
Princess.
Gates only go to certain spots, right?
To a few, usually each one has a few locations they go to.
Well, let's narrow it down. Shay's going to go through your computers a little bit.
We'll tell you if you
You've
can
got some
promise
really
to
creative
let us go.
accounting in here.
Look, you guys had a kidnapped galactic princess.
We didn't kidnap her exactly. We picked her up.
What do you mean you
From-
picked her up?
Was she tied up in any way when you did it?
No, she had packed bags.
So Princess just went on vacation.
I guess
I told you.
She's
I
not
told
on
you.
vacation. She's banging somebody.
She's eloping
Oh,
with
she's
somebody.
banging
She is banging. She doesn't want to
Well,
marry the prince. She's
Who
probably
said,
trying.
who said that it couldn't be a vacation too?
Tale as old as time.
Like, not everybody likes a destination wedding, but pretty much everybody
We're
likes a destination
speculating.
bang.
The princess is pure of heart that we know of.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I've been Knuckles. Wait.
The vessel we did the handoff to, they got rid of their transponder, but we've got a record of their drive signature.
So
Now we are talking. You
Okay,
may just
you're
walk out of
gonna-
here
you're
after all.
We'll give that
Is
to you.
it- that's
No-
in
no
your
problems.
records, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
All
Well,
yours.
now it's not. It's in mine.
This is all great news. This is solid information. Thank you.
You're welcome. This was not the job we signed up to do.
Understandable. And
How willing did she seem? Like she was eager.
We just picked her up. There was no kidnapping.
Mm.
We landed. She was ready. She boarded. We
Was
took
she
her.
all giddy and whatnot?
She seemed kind of stressed out.
Stressed.
Stressed
Okay.
out,
All right.
huh.
All right. So she might have been under duress. Was she like, fully
Also, she's
cognizant?
probably not used to space travel. Unlike the rest of us, she has to stay planet side most
that's
of her life.
true.
Oh, God. Everybody talks about how great being a princess is, and I just don't see it.
Me neither.
Yeah, they're really whiny.
I know. The upside is you are very rich,
They're always getting
which
kidnapped.
means she could have paid off.
A lot of people.
Except it's not money that she can get to because it's like treasury money, right? It's not like they just give her a credit card. If she uses
I
that
don't
credit
know.
card,
You sell an earring. You have a spaceship.
but she's gonna have to. Yeah. All right. Let's go through that computer.
All right. All right.
Let's get that.
I'm hacking, and what do I find?
They're telling the truth. You've got their
Sure.
travel
Anything
records and
else?
everything. You've got a drive signature. They've got some creative accounting.
Yeah,
But
sure.
these
I
guys
mean,
just
we have
seem-
some creative accounting too. I know I did it.
They're definitely just straight, legit mercenaries. Just do contract work, it looks like.
All
Pretty
does
common
anybody
throughout
wanna
all
tell
the
them to keep their
systems.
nose out of trouble and stop taking jobs from princesses?
Shay, I do believe that the arrow is going to need some repairs from missiles.
Oh, sure. I'm going through their inventory now to see if there's anything that's compatible for us.
Are we pirating these people now too?
Yeah, we could pirate these people. They're the reason that we need repairs. The
I
least that
would
they
say
could do is pay for
liberation-
them.
Look, they're gonna be lucky to make it back to their own spaceport with what we did to their engines.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if they have any
A
spare
little tit for
parts.
tat and a little clink for clank,
There-
okay?
There's
so,
some material on board that could be used, but it's honestly substandard compared to what you've already
Yeah, I'm
got in
not
the
gonna
hold to
touch
do
it.
the
Just
repairs
take
with.
the money.
I mean,
Some of the
it's
money.
one of the things you do love about being on Cirque's ship is he springs for the most expensive high-end repair parts. It's all premium gear.
hence the
All
creative
French press,
accounting
no
we have to
Folgers,
do.
baby.
Never buys the generic
But you
brands.
should see the cocoa budget. It's astonishing.
So are we done here, or are we?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
mean,
do a little creative accounting of my own.
These guys
the
that were-
aforementioned cocoa budget does need a little bit of, so I'm just gonna.
These guys that were with the one-handed guy, they were definitely military. No uniforms, but they were military.
Do you happen to know which military they may have been trained with? Which one were you
What
trained
is
with,
it?
by the way?
Oh, we're from
Galactic
Cal-
Navy.
Yeah, we used to be in the Galactic Navy,
Okay.
Calden Empire.
Good to know.
Well, most of us, but we got a few guys who are. We got a few guys who are from the Egg hegemony too. I mean, it's,
Gotcha.
we take anybody who's got the right experience.
That's a good egalitarian way to do it.
Yeah,
I
if
like
only-
the
if
ship that
only
you're
the-
running, sir.
If only the two of them could actually see eye to eye the way you boys do, then maybe we wouldn't be on the brink of a war. But
Anyway.
here we are.
Anyway, I bring it up because these guys weren't like former. Like they still had the regulation haircuts
Oh.
and everything. You know, there was. You know, we all like to grow a nice beard when we get out. And,
I know what you're saying.
And these guys,
see
not
that,
so much.
yeah.
They had
No.
shaved twice that day already. You can
clean
just tell by
shaved,
looking.
uniforms were starched.
Well, the longer we stay here, the farther away they get.
Yeah,
so.
there's, gentlemen.
The whole thing seemed hinky once we got involved in it. We didn't even know we were picking up a princess. We just heard it was a wealthy
You
individual.
recognized her, or you just?
Yeah.
Well, not at first. I mean,
But you did the job.
Yeah.
And you got paid.
And now we got.
yeah, we got paid.
And hopefully it's enough to cover your repair costs and replacing what the
I'll
30
need
torpedoes you fired at
That's
us.
the one.
Just
Yeah.
12. It was just 12. We thought it'd be enough to slow you down so we could get away and run. I mean, I don't even know what we're gonna do now.
I hope you've learned
I
your
don't know
lesson.
why you ran. We
We
could have
could've
had
just
this
had a talk.
conversation.
Because we just found out we kidnapped a princess.
You said
And
she
also
came
then Sirik's
willingly.
coming after
She
you.
did, but
Here's the thing: like our ship, it does not look like maybe the military.
Could you
of a
recognize the
princess,
ship from
but
where
it's
you
fine.
were? Like, did you know who we were shooting at?
no.
Oh, okay.
See?
We need bigger paint.
I feel like
I
this,
have told you guys that before.
you can't see it in space unless it's lit from the outside. You understand that too,
we
right?
we need more lights and we need a better paint
So,
color.
guys, we don't get paid by the hour. Are we done here? Can we get back with the?
But
Yeah.
You're on salary, Elijah. You know that.
Yeah, I
Hence, we
know
don't
all
get paid
too
by the
well.
hour. All right. So,
man.
yeah,
My
let's
bad. I
let's.
apologize.
I'm just
Where are you
gonna
guys
take that
headed? Anywhere
drive
good?
signature and I'm gonna put it in our.
I've been thinking about jumping ships.
We're gonna be out here for at least a month fixing these drives.
Yes, you are. Well,
do you
have
need
a
a little
great
help?
day.
You know,
We should be all right.
You sure?
we could give you a lift if we could tow you some way. At least give you a
I
little
tell,
better
I tell you
chance.
what. I tell you
I
what.
think we're gonna wait till things cool off.
Look,
a
they
little
should
bit.
just
probably
be
a good
happy to
call.
be alive right now.
They are happy, but we should be happy to be doing a better job.
I agree, but I don't want to get these guys arrested.
Oh,
We're just gonna let things cool off for a while.
That's a good call, both of you.
Considering they didn't technically break any laws other than, the transport of royalty, which I'm pretty sure is only a crime in one of the two galactic empires. The one with royalty.
The
Yeah,
one with
yeah,
royalty,
that makes sense. So,
Any chance you can, keep our names out of this?
I don't know your
know your
names.
names.
We never even asked your names.
That'd be great. Thanks.
yeah, I'm calling you Stevie in my head.
Oh,
Yours
he wouldn't-
is
And
Stevie.
yeah,
He wouldn't
you
be
didn't
called
see us
Stevie or
either,
something. They tend to go
so.
by their last names.
But what's my name?
Stevens.
Yeah, there you go.
Elijah King.
Yeah, damn right it is.
See, Elijah? People know you. You get the respect you deserve.
Sure.
And if you don't,
Okay.
you can, tear their arms off and beat them to death with them.
Teach them respect.
So
With
if I'm
fists.
not fixing their ship, if I'm not
No,
fixing
no,
their
you're
ship,
not
then
fixing
we're
their
going
ship.
back to our ship.
Yep.
And we're going to track that drive signature and find out what happened.
Yeah.
Ta for now.
Thanks.
Pleasure to meet you, Stevie.
Oh, you got a card or something in case we need to hire out?
Oh, well, yeah, but I think you probably already got it up.
Yeah, I got all
Oh, yeah,
of
no,
their
we got
information,
everything. I
so-
was just being nice by asking.
Yeah, sure.
We
Appreciate
also,
it.
Yeah.
But also, like, I know all of your names now, so.
That's great.
Mhm.
That's just great.
Just remember, we're always around,
Yeah.
watching.
Yep. Yeah, that's great.
Come on. We got time to make up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go fly fast.
All right, back
My
aboard the Arrow of
favorite.
Justice. You've got a plethora of information
Sure
that you've
do.
taken from their systems.
Oh, yeah.
That drive signature is a big thing. Of course, you got to track that ship down by its drive signature, which means millions and millions of sensor relays and installations, all which are supposed to be security encoded
Sure,
and
sure.
unhackable.
Sure. Look, I'm not wanted for no reason. So, well, I am wanted.
No,
for
it's
no
because of your
reason.
sparkling personality. We've gone over this.
Dead or alive.
I prefer to stay alive. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna roll a hacking roll.
What do you got for hacking?
I got a 12.
Okay, a D12 and a D6. You're just so terrible at hacking.
I'm going with Bon Jovi songs for you today, in case you're.
1 and a 5.
Why? Because you slippery when
I
wet?
don't love it. I don't love
Yeah,
it. I'm
aren't we
I'm
all?
gonna use a Benny. I'm gonna roll that.
Personal or store?
I'll use a personal.
Personal Benny, we rolled out 1 and 5. Let's see. 6 aces.
Unbelievable.
7. You okay with the 7?
I'm having a bad day. You know what?
The 7's not a raise, but it's not
It's
bad.
not a raise. It's not a raise, but I want to know exactly where they are, and I want to know what they ate for breakfast. So yeah, we'll roll that.
Another personal Benny?
Yeah, sure.
All right, one more personal Benny. Let's see if we do better.
Unbelievable.
Where-
See, I
where's the
told
12?
you, about
Right?
halfway there.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we're missing
okay.
the 12 in
Missing
there.
the 12. I was if I get another
There we go.
one on, oh my.
Oh,
God.
for
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
shape
gonna-
changing?
It's about
No, I
halfway
need
You've
there.
got you've got one last personal Benny left. You want to use it?
Alright, you know what? I'm going to use a store Benny.
Store Benny.
This is
We're
important.
just walking through these like water. You
All
know,
right,
I'm
let's
gonna
roll a
need one of
12
those
and a
photos,
6.
I think.
Yep, there we
Okay,
go.
I'll take an 8. I'll
8
take an
is
8.
a
It's the best
success
I can
with
do.
a raise, which is good enough that instead of a task like this, which would take most intelligence services a week or more to pull off, it only takes you about a day of going through various sensor relays to finally track down this individual drive signature, and on top of that, the last jump gate that it came out of.
Ooh.
Bam.
Okay.
Yep.
Captain, I've got their jump gate.
That's
Sonny,
their jump
you're
gate
the
then?
best.
Who
Man,
says you
I
can't
would
go
literally
home?
pay
huh?
any amount of money to have you on my crew, just so you know.
See? But then
But you
do
can't
fight
wait
against
to get
the-
rid of me anyway, so.
Oh, no, not at all. I like all of you.
Sure.
Yeah, it was last detected in the Hollis cluster, leaving a jump gate headed into free space. You know, where you were born, where you came from. You know, where there's no real law, where people just kind of carve out their own communities. It's where you can get a mix of essentially galactic cowboys, hippie communes, and capitalists that like to be unchecked in their development of products. There's no real law in the outer systems except what you make it for a law.
So,
You sure it's free space?
yeah, he says it's free space. I don't know
Free
what a
space.
princess is doing in free space. It's not exactly
Are you kidding
what
me?
they do.
She's got a man. I'm telling you, she is
Now,
banging
You
somebody.
don't know that it's a man.
You also
For all
got
we know, it could be an octopus. Go
you
on.
also got some great other information.
Hell, it could just be one puss.
Well, again,
It's true.
the transponder was scrubbed, so you can't pick out exactly what ship it is. You are able to determine that it was a destroyer-class vessel, and clearly of Agan hegemony military design. It's modern.
Would that be a monopus or unipus?
It's a good question.
Arrow of Justice versus Destroyer.
Just a
How's
puss.
that go?
You're pretty heavily outgunned.
All right. Good to know.
Okay, so
But don't you love those odd? Isn't that like
we
thing?
love an odd. We love an. We absolutely love an odd.
I mean, it
Here's
wouldn't be
the
your
thing.
first time going in way outgunned, but it's definitely punching way above your weight class. You know, a destroyer class is about a 60-person crew.
We've got 4.
Yeah.
But we're
But you're
four
all
at the
worth
best.
10.
Oh, that's a lie.
So we're
Yes.
still.
It's
still
really
outgunned.
just him
We're
that's
still
worth
outgunned.
10.
The real dangerous thing about
Mega
destroyer
fun.
classes is they tend to be armed with, in addition to the PDCs and torpedoes, rail guns, which are, you know, a great way to just absolutely obliterate a ship in a single shot.
Can we jam their sensors and kind of float around in their wake and get close to them?
It's possible you might be able to hide yourself, but again, the only information you have is the last jump gate they came out of. You don't know where they
Can
currently
we
are.
hail them with a distress beacon and get them to
With
bring
their
us in?
transponder off, no one's communicating with them. No incoming communications with them. They're hiding themselves, whoever they are. You could send a signal out, but it would go to
Yeah, they're hiding
everyone,
themselves.
and then
They're hiding
everyone would
themselves
know
from
there
me.
was a kidnapped princess.
It's our
perhaps.
guy, too. That's the worst.
There.
I'd like to spend a personal penny.
Any personal, Benny?
Yep.
What are you gonna do?
I'm just moving myself.
Oh, going to
on
the
side.
middle.
Going to the middle.
All right, a little bit of Jonah Mox in there. Going to the middle.
Look at that
Now-
rocket go.
There's plenty of people out there that we can contact. They're
So call them.
okay. I'm gonna start making some calls.
And in the meantime, because it could take a few days for some of these signals to go back and forth.
What is our guy's game?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't know
he's the
why
one
he
that's
has a
banging the
princess.
princess.
He's not.
No, okay. Well,
No, that guy is in love with his partner. Why
Let's
else?
just say
Why
it's
else
not the
destroy
princess.
several universes? You know. Ah,
see, that just sounds like codependency to me.
can one exist without the other? It's a good question too.
Hmm.
Talk to Paul about that.
Who?
Don't worry about it. I'm not
Okay.
in the middle. I don't know these things.
I've just been calling him Loverboy. Is that okay?
I like it.
Since we haven't had a name for our big bad adversary, I've just been calling him Loverboy.
Listen here, lover boy.
And he gives love a bad name.
God damn.
Man, always
Nice.
with the Bon Jovi.
Always with
Today,
Bon
yeah,
Jovi.
that's the theme. kinda.
So,
Hey, this is Sirik. I'm wondering if you've seen license plate destroyer class. No.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Look,
Goodbye.
somebody's manning
there
the gates at
anything
the
that I can
station.
do from here?
Somebody knows when they went through. The gates are heavily guarded. We just got to talk to the people guarding that gate, figure out what a destroyer-class ship went through. It's just talking to the right people.
I mean, you have most of that
I
information.
already
You
have
know
that
when
information.
it came through and where it came through last.
Yeah, but maybe these guys will know where they're heading, know if they needed to refuel, know if they...
They were going to
Alright.
free space. A
I mean,
destroyer
that can
in
ask the
free
guards,
space,
if you
though.
don't wanna
It's going to
ask
make
the
a heck of a dent.
I'll ask the
Yeah, it
guards.
is.
You don't go through free space with a military
you
class
trying to-
destroyer and not get noticed.
You trying to figure out where the princess went or where Loverboy went?
They're on the same ship.
I'm
I
gonna spend a
think.
penny and go in the
Yeah,
middle.
currently
Spending a
they're on
penny,
the-
going in the middle. Was that a personal or
Personal
store?
penny.
Personal penny spent.
Because
And
they,
then
were,
I'm going to call it.
Oh, okay.
they were
Right,
trying to
whoever
track.
was manning, like,
But you want to that particular jump gate? Again, it's going to be time because communication is not instantaneous. It's
Yeah.
sent with a type.
Well, are we headed to that jump
Yeah,
gate
we
anyway?
headed to
Okay.
Yeah, we're going that way.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we'll just
yeah.
ask them in person.
yeah.
Plus, your persuasion leaves something to be desired.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Trust me on this. I got it.
If you're trying to track Loverboy, the one thing to know is that everybody's working for the weekend.
Oh my
So that's
god.
probably
Well,
where you're going
I
to.
really think that you need to get checked out. I think you have a virus.
Yeah, radio virus.
I've been trying, okay? I've been trying.
Yeah, but you're not asking nicely.
No.
All right. 5 days and 3 jump gates later,
God.
you arrive at the same jump gate that destroyer was last at passing through. And you wanted to get in touch with.
Whoever was on.
It's occupied. Jump gates, as we're pointing out, are a tactical importance, so they are predominantly military installations that civilians are allowed to use and commercial traffic's allowed to use. But they're
Yeah.
Which military is in control of this one?
this one is in it's an hegemony.
Yeah.
That's not good for us. They're not
Well, it's
gonna.
who you're
deal.
essentially working
Yeah.
for on the one hand, but it's
But
also who
also, if
allegedly
it's
who
an
these people
angle-
come
Yeah.
from.
Yes.
So I mean, who
So
knows?
now we
There's
gotta
some
talk
stuff
about-
going on.
Some sort of double cross. If they've hired us to find this princess, but they know exactly where she is, then why did they hire us?
Well, your good friend, the king, clearly was distraught.
He was very distraught.
Right, but we're at the jump gate. You can call the king, yeah? I mean,
Yeah, let's do both.
Communication's going to be a lot easier at jump gates than it is going
Oh,
to
good,
be
but
pretty much
It's
anywhere else.
unlikely he's going to know anything he didn't already tell you.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna talk to
except
the
you have
guy.
except you have different
Except that
questions
we
to ask
have-
this time.
Mm,
You see-
true. No. That's
Find
what
out-
you're thinking, yeah.
Which one of his ships is missing, and which one of his commanders is missing, and which one of those commanders has been spending time with the princess on a social
There it
basis.
is.
John Mox, why don't you say these things more often?
Oh no, that wasn't me. That's him. That's all this Pike dude.
Pike is way smarter than you.
And you're,
Oh, I know.
Wow.
and you're full avatar. So you know who Jonah Box is.
Oh no, he's in the middle.
Oh,
no,
no, he's in the
When
middle.
is it
I
He
think
spent
the,
the personal betting to move himself
yeah,
to the middle.
Did you?
the slider got moved on mine. I
Now,
have
let's
no
take a
idea
peek at
what's
those
going on.
sliders real quick so we can
Okay.
see where everybody is one more time. Everybody,
See, I thought he was still avatar.
he
but-
should be in the middle.
He's,
Yeah, I
he's
think
in the middle. I'm still avatar.
it's wrong one got moved. No worries, we'll fix that.
Okay, no problem. All right, cool.
I'm gonna call it.
So, only Princess Hedgehog is not getting to come out to play yet.
Yeah.
Which is why we're still on track.
Look, I recognize
Using
that.
the jump gate signals, you're able to get in touch with him. As again, you have his private line, which almost no one has.
What?
Sirik, my good buddy,
Horus.
have you found my dog?
He calls it horse.
Yeah.
Have you found my
Not
dog?
your majesty.
It's a long story, but maybe. So funny idea.
Yes.
I'm trying to find a ship, one of your ships. In fact, is there a destroyer you haven't been able to find? Maybe
I don't personally keep track of these.
I didn't think
things.
you're too important for that, Horse. I understand. Can we talk maybe with your logistics officer?
I could put in an inquiry to the fleet. Do you know which ship I'm looking for?
That's the problem. We don't. We know it's a destroyer.
Horace, what's your date of birth and your mother's maiden name?
No reason,
Um,
and she's totally trustworthy.
Just curious. I just want to know who would name somebody
who is
Horace.
that strange
Try calling your majesty.
creature that you have on board your ship?
Okay, one, that's really hurtful, Horace.
Well, she's a
She's
strange.
a companion.
She's a
It's one of
strange
your
creature,
damn
though.
subjects,
They're
Horace.
delightful.
She is
You don't
spectacular.
recognize me.
quite delightful.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
I hear the
Nobody
king
thinks
is
I
looking to
like
re-up on his mistresses.
Oh, great.
So-
Cool.
So I do need, I could actually get that information if you'll actually supply me with those couple of things. We could find out which ship is missing. I'm also wondering, maybe one of your admirals, maybe a captain of one of these ships. Any of them paying any close attention to your daughter?
So give him the drive signature. See if he can run it through.
So you're saying that I have a ship missing from my fleet?
I don't know. It's just something we're checking out. I
Okay.
told you I'll find her, and damn it, Horace, I'm gonna find her.
We
Yeah.
saw
If you send me the drive signature, I will be certain to see if that. Thank you. It may take some time. As some of
doesn't
the.
have to.
The faster we get it, though, the faster we get your daughter
I
back.
understand, but the fleet is far flung, and to know
Oh,
where
no, I
these ships
understand.
aren't
It would have
could
been
take time.
it would have been nearby for the last several months to wherever your home planet is.
That narrows it down.
We got
And
people who
it
can
might
hack
be
stuff.
it might be close to free
And I'm
space
assuming the
now.
commander is a friend of the family.
Ooh, yes, yes.
That will also narrow it down. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Horace. No.
Always good to talk to you, my friend.
Next time I'm over, we'll have some delicious cocoa.
Oh, tell that cyborg friend of yours. What was his name? Eric?
Elijah!
Yes, Aaron?
We're gonna shorten his name.
Elijah!
This is gonna be Eli or Kane. What do you think is better?
Oh, yes, Eli. That was it. Tell him how I said hello. Yes.
Will do.
Oh,
Close
Eli.
enough.
Elijah, I told you, Elijah Kane, too much. Do you think I always go by Cyric Forrester? No, just
Yes,
Cyric.
you do. You literally do.
You full name yourself literally constantly.
Okay, I full name
I
myself,
put
but I
it
already
in the-
got the credentials. Elijah, while he should have the credentials, and again, I'm sorry that they don't pay attention to you. I don't know why. That's probably the robot uprising. There's some issues with that.
You know,
But,
it's also hard to shine when you're in someone's shadow.
ouch.
What's ouch? What's ouch about that?
That's
You
fine.
shine.
I am a fucking diamond. I
Yes,
know.
Which relegates the rest of us to being just glorified sidekicks.
Whoa.
No, it's true.
I
We're
would
fine
never
with it.
think of you guys being a sidekicks.
I know you don't. That's what
Glorified.
makes you you.
Yeah.
Of course you don't think of us that way, but everybody else in the galaxy pretty much does.
I'm
If there's
more
a
of
way
a.
to
They
do
can pick
that-
all of us out of a lineup, but still only know your
No,
name.
no, I'm a master
I'm
of
not-
disguise.
You are not.
I'm less of a.
I am a master of disguise.
I'm less of a
You
sidekick
are a
and
computer
more
nerd.
of a pull your ass out of the fire.
And I
Butler?
can disguise my signature online. It's hard to find me.
Not
All
a
right.
butler.
Well,
Like I said,
you do have some
any
information.
amount of money.
You're
So we
waiting
have-
on more, but that ship did come through this jump gate. I mean, they
Shall
would have
we?
had to have tracked its telemetry and seen at least the direction it was going.
Yeah,
when
no,
it left here.
we can check into that. Easy,
Now, you can ask them, or you
easy,
can
easy as clickety
ask
clickety
them
shay.
without asking.
Can I just clickety clickety?
Yeah,
shake?
that's the asking without asking part.
Yeah,
I
okay.
love
So we're gonna
clickety
clickety.
All right, it's gonna be a hacking roll.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 12.
A D12 and a D6.
It better not come up twos again. I'm done with twos.
I can. Nope, she's
Oh,
got it.
A
You
5
know?
is good enough for a
good
success.
enough.
It's good. You don't need a raise on everything.
You are able
Can't
to
can't you
hack
just be
into-
happy with success, Helen?
It's not a critical failure.
Hey.
God.
What if I assist?
You absolutely could assist.
Then we can get her that extra boost that she's looking for.
You could, very much so.
All right.
Let's just
What
boot 'em
skill
up.
are you going to use to support?
Hacking.
Hacking. What do you got for hacking?
12 plus
But
2.
ding,
Oof.
ding, ding.
Let's give a D12 plus 2. Are you in the middle? So that would be a -1.
So
So
it's
it's
only
only going to be a
10.
12 plus
Holy.
1.
Mhm.
Only a 10. So a +2 bonus to that hacking roll of yours. You do it a little bit better. Who knew that Elijah could hack? That's a new skill. You were pretty
Right.
sure you couldn't do that before.
I don't know what I downloaded into him the last time I was in this.
I told you to stop doing that while he was asleep. He asked me to tell you not to.
Okay, fine. Next time, I'll put in a work request.
Okay.
You were able to get some information there. One is you got a general course, so you know which way it was headed when it left the gate, not necessarily where it's going to end up. But more appropriately, the more interesting factor is when it came through, it transmitted defense codes, which is, what is transmitted when military ships are on assignment. Someone knew the active codes.
So maybe
use.
the king doesn't know, but somebody does.
Somebody within the system clearly knows and is using the system against itself to hide themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's our
This is a
guy. That's
problem.
Loverboy.
This is a problem.
The Loverboy is in one of the higher ups and has taken the Princess Y.
I'm sorry, he's in a higher up.
He's
It's a weird story, I understand.
Okay.
Moving on.
So,
Loverboy's obviously a military commander or of some type, right?
Mhm,
Or with them. No, he was in his own body.
Yeah, he was in the body that you cut the hand off of.
Right.
It doesn't even belong in this dimension.
so
That's how
is
he lost his hand?
Controlling everyone.
Same way he always has. Hop in.
Mind bullets.
Well,
Maybe.
he's not hopping in. He's got his own body.
So, I don't think he has to worry about that the way we do.
Oh.
I think he can just, Loki staff people. Did you understand that reference? I'm very sorry. Like, he's got a way to put himself in people. That sounded bad too. Okay.
Yep.
It's just not getting. It's not getting any better.
The
All right.
other bit you were able to get from that is the codes. The defense codes are transferred from intel, from intelligence. That narrows it down.
Does that
Again,
mean anything to me specifically, or should I pass that along?
could be something to pass along. It would narrow down the ships to look for.
Tell you what, I'm gonna send a very nice little message to the king, and I'm gonna say, hey, I have some defense codes that we sent out from the ship that we think is carrying your daughter. If you could just send along your birth date or your mother's maiden name,
Last for your social.
the last four of your social. Oh gosh, what else? A dominant hand
The street
and
you grew up on, that's first name.
no, these things we know. These things. So that's a point of public record.
Who name's a cat
his-
Goliath, by the way?
Yeah, weird, right? And his favorite governess growing up.
Barbara.
And then, as a sign of good faith, I'm gonna send along the information that I have in exchange, maybe for the info. I'm not asking him. I'm not saying I'm not gonna give him the information if he doesn't give me the information. But I gave him the information, so it's the least he could do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You send along a very wordy bit.
Yeah, you could throw in
Short
there that
missive.
I'm.
But of course, it's sent from Sarek's line because
Sure.
that's the one that has
Oh,
direct access. So it actually seems like Sarek sent along that rather wordy bit.
That's fine. As long as there's hot cocoa emojis.
And the minutes tick by, and about an hour or so later, you get a return call. Sarek, my good friend.
Oh, Horace, what's up?
Well, with the information you gave me, I was able to
the king.
track some things down. I am missing a ship.
Go on.
The Shadowfall was on a very specific covert mission, which I was not aware of.
Okay.
Black Ops stuff
Yeah, and apparently it deviated from said mission.
by a whole bunch, suddenly, out of nowhere.
Well, they lost track of it. It scrubbed the transponder, which it's built to do. Of course, it has a cloaking system. It's
Fair.
designed
I
for
mean,
such
of
things.
course
Sure,
they all
sure,
did that.
sure.
What was the last spaceport that they were at ahead of that?
I don't know.
I do. It's fine.
Because that's going to be when they picked up their passenger.
Sure. Yeah.
Unless he just
We
showed up right
know-
on the
we
ship,
know
which I
where
guess he
they
could have
Ooh,
done.
I want to call them dark passengers, but other now.
Someone has painstakingly scrubbed contact with the ship through the backlogs.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Okay. There's really no nice or easy way to put this, but your entire military intelligence has been compromised to the point where you are probably going to be at war within the next couple of days.
That's the one.
That's terrifying. The ship, the Shadowfall, was under the command of Commander Rebecca Marcos.
Rebecca Marcos. What do we know about Rebecca Marcos? Yeah.
Give me half a second. I'll find out everything.
Gonna need another one of those hacking rolls from you. So another D12 and a D6.
Can I assist?
Yeah, you can.
You
assist
could
them.
assist with that. Yeah,
If you
let's see
want.
what happens here on this one.
Okay.
I'll assist too.
All right, let's roll for your assist, which is another D12 also.
If you
right?
hand me a
D12.
cup of cocoa, I get a little.
D12 plus 1 with the penalty.
Okay, D12 and a D6 plus 1 for the assist. Let's see if it's going to be. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll
I'm
probably do
getting
it.
beaten at my own game. It's
Oh my
embarrassing.
god.
That's what team works are for.
Oh,
That's true.
wow.
Teamwork.
Well, it's a 31.
That's a plus 2 bonus. That gives you a raise on that hacking
I'll
roll.
take a raise. I'll
You're
take a
able to
raise.
access a lot of her record. Being intelligence is redacted, but what you're able to do is there was a long period of time, in fact, just a few years ago, there was a 6-year stretch where she spent a great deal of time in close proximity to the royal family.
She's in love with the princess.
Or she's got a bigger game. It might not be a love
It's
thing.
not her game. It's Loverboy's game.
Well, it's Loverboy's game, sure.
He just knew
But-
a way for them to be together and probably offered it out.
So it's
People
not
do
even...
stupid shit for love.
That's true. The things I've done.
Yeah, very close contact with the royal family.
I have those tapes. I have every one of those tapes. You're not discreet.
I never tried to.
In fact, Commander Marcos, coming up through the officers' ranks, was on the personal security detail of the princess.
Bam!
Of course she was.
We got our girl.
All right, so we know who it is. We know what she's on. We know who's with her.
But we don't know where they're going.
Don't know where they're going.
But they're headed for free space.
What do we know about Rebecca Marcos's growing up?
Nothing yet.
Oh, you have the full record.
I've
She's
got
very,
it all.
you know, that she's from the hegemony, came into the ranks at an early age. Middle class, nothing spectacular.
Does she have any ties to free space?
No,
None.
not a one.
Nowhere that they'd run to.
No, she was just raised in much better conditions than most of free space within the hegemony itself.
It makes rich kids
They like to
always
to
run
the
away
surface,
and
yeah.
always say they're going to go to free space.
Sure.
Why?
Because they've got some romantic idea. About
Exactly.
getting
This
lost
is
there.
all
You don't
about
get lost
romantic
in
ideas.
Free space in a friggin' destroyer.
Where-
So if
where
you were
would
going to
they
free
go?
space,
Niagara Falls, Las Vegas.
yes, what are our Niagara Falls, our Las Vegases, our...
There are a few places out here, but not many.
Puerto Vallarta.
The
But that's
chapel
what
stage.
we're looking for. We're looking for destinations.
Indeed. And I guess we'll look into that next week when we come back for more of the Reliables, because that's all the time we've got for this
All
episode.
right, just when we were getting somewhere.
Oh man, so mean of me to just leave you right there hanging. What was I thinking?
Leave us hanging off a cliff like some sort of cliff thingy.
Cliff holder.
Like I would ever do that. Oh yeah, I just did. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching us. Thank you for contributing, for joining in with the fun. Make sure to check out how you can be a Zoe supporter. Check out the Reliables Twitter. Check out the Reliables webpage. Zoe Game Night is also very worth checking out. And you know, the whole TFN catalog, the Fantasy Network, is something you should look at if you haven't already. Maybe watch some Masters of the Metaverse in your downtime. That's a good show.
Tell your friends, tell your enemies.
See the origins of John Stone.
Yeah, that's right. And until then, we're just going to have to wait till next week to see if we can solve what this mystery is about. Who's up to what? Why are they up to it?
Who
What's
put
the
them
end game
up to
here?
it?
What's where? Who?
Why is Pike so much smarter than Jonamox?
All these questions and more.
That's right. And we'll see you next week for more Reliables.
It might be because his brain's in a solid
Goodbye.
state.